The following is a presentation of KBEK Sports, local sports.
Past the 25, to the 20, to the 15, he's gonna high step into the end zone, touchdown!
Their wide receivers split each side.
He's still going into the end zone.
East Central Minnesota, the action starts now. To bring you the call, here's Ethan Game Day Gilman.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to St. Cloud State University, where we're at Hollenbeck Hall for tonight's Section 6 AA championship game between your Milaca Wolves and the Sauk Center Main Streeters. Good evening, everybody. I'm Ethan Game Day Gilman, and joining me for this one is Andy Beckstrom. Andy, how you doing tonight? It's great to be back at Hollenbeck Hall.
Well, you know, I was able to get my heart rate to come down a little bit from the thriller that they had the other night against Royalton, and getting pretty excited for tonight's matchup. And yeah, I've been to Hollenbeck Hall numerous times throughout the years, starting way back with the Bram State Championships back in the early 2000s, and just a fantastic place to be able to just be at. You know, the building just has history to it. Just a fun place to be and a great vantage point from where we're at. St. Ben's is really cool, and St. John's is usually a pretty good view, but, you know, being kind of almost courtside and, you know, pretty good angles for everything, it's hard to beat this type of atmosphere. And, you know, just college towns are just kind of hit different anyway.
Yeah, they really do, and we get a really great view, like you mentioned. I mean, this is a beautiful arena that we get to see these games, and not only see them, but we get to broadcast them as well. And it's a special feeling to be able to be here, be as close as we are, and call these games for our local teams. It's hard enough to get here, so we got to thank these players. You know, it's really up to these players to be able to get here for us to be able to come here and broadcast this one. But again, Milaca playing the number 1 seeded Sauk Center Main Streeters, and we'll take a look at how both of these teams got here. Starting with the Main Streeters, they were the number 1 seed. They got the bye this year, Andy. The section shrunk a little bit this year by 1 team. It's only 15 teams this year. We've been used to this section being 16 teams. It shrunk by 1, but that didn't make it any less competitive. In fact, 1 through 15 really could have beat each other in this section.
It's a very deep section. It's kind of a onslaught of competition all the way up and down. You know, you talk about, where everybody is as far as, talent-wise and how deep the section is. You just have to look at Royalton as basically, the answer to that. They're an undefeated team, and they weren't the top seed. You know, if you have an undefeated season and you're not the number 1 seed, clearly the section has some ability and some depth. And these two teams especially really highlight that. Sauk Center has been there, done that. They're here basically year in, year out. Milaca having just a phenomenal year this year. Royalton has had a lot of success. Annandale that took on Sauk Center in the semis, really good year. And you just kind of go down the list all the way down to the bottom. As you mentioned, everybody had different high points of the season and had a chance. This is just the 2 teams that have made it here. It's really hard to get here. And we're thankfully we're able to get 2 teams here.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun night for us here at Hollenbeck Hall on the campus of St. Cloud State. Taking a look at these 2 teams, Milaca, as they are right now currently 22-5, Sauk Center 26-2. Sauk Center is a top 8 team, Milaca top 20, actually top 15 team on the season. But as we take a look at this section as well, none of the offenses, when you look at points for, really pop out at you. There's some good offenses, no doubt, but it's the defenses that really stand out to you here in this section this year. We're used to seeing, again, this section have a lot of good offenses that you see 70, 72, 75 points per game. This year, it's the defenses that are really controlling things, and we've kind of seen it throughout the first few playoff games. For both of these teams, defense has kind of ruled.
Yeah, it's a much different kind of atmosphere, I guess, as far as who's made it here. We're, like you mentioned, we're used to seeing, teams like Albany and I guess to a certain extent Sauk Center, but just number of teams that they're going to play a little defense, but they're going to get out and run. They're going to run fast-paced offense. They're going to get up and down the court, score a ton of points, and be able to just make a lot of stuff happen. But this is a much different type of atmosphere, led essentially by the Milaca Wolves, I would have to say.
Yeah.
The defensive prowess that they bring to the table it's a game-changing type of atmosphere. They can score, they can put up points at the other end, but we even talked about that against Royalton. If you get to 50, you got a really good chance to be able to win because you're not going to give up 50, which is just an insane number to be able to think of. You can hold teams to under 50, teams that maybe are 1-20 or something, not very good teams. But against an undefeated team, to be able to hold them to, I think they had 53 the other night, but to even just have the conversation of we might be able to hold them under 50. And that's a realistic expectation for the defense that these Wolves play. That's what their calling card is. They can score, as I mentioned, but really it all starts for them on the defensive side of the ball.
It really does, and we take a look at Sauk Center. They have one of the better defenses in the section. Currently, they were the number 3 defense, in the section. These got a little bit skewed because of some late games that both sides, even the rest of the section, really had some higher scoring games towards the end when teams get a little bit tired. They give up a few more points late in the season. Then you get to playoffs and you kind of get that rest, kind of get to reset and back to your normal selves. But yes, the top 3 defense for Milaca, like you mentioned, I would agree they are one of the if not the standard for the defense in this section. But looking at Sauk Center again, the number 1 seed, they took on Foley, who got the road victory over Holdingford. They even got Sauk Center within 10 in that second half. I thought Foley was going to make the comeback. It had the feeling of, man, if they could cut it under 8, it's going to be completed. Unfortunately, Sauk Center was able to pull away, but Foley gave them a great run for their money. Then they faced off against Annandale in the semifinals, and they kind of took that one and pulled away real early in that one. It was a 72-43. I know we got there right before half. It was kind of out of hand already, and then Sauk Center just did a good job of finishing them off. So the number 1 seed, probably, again, really deserving of that number 1 seed, but Milaca all year long. I got to watch their first game of the season against Chisago Lakes, and I remember seeing this roster, and I was like, man, I can't wait to see what this team is able to do throughout the season, and I knew their defense was going to be part of it, but it's because of the experience. We talked about it on Tuesday. It's the experience of the team. Even though it can be a little bit younger at times on the roster, they still have a couple seniors, but this can tend to lean a little bit younger on the Wolves side, but that experience shows through everything they do.
Absolutely. Nothing seems beyond the scope of what they can handle. We talked about it and highlighted it a couple of different times the other night in their matchup, their victory over the top of Royalton, that there were times during the game that Royalton go on a little bit of a run. They'd make it pretty tight. They made it a 1-point ball game. They get it, kind of in a tough spot. But Milaca just never seemed shaken. They never seemed rattled. They never seemed off their proverbial game. But on the other side, with about 4 minutes left, even with Milaca's arguably best defender out of the game, they still, granted they were down 11, but they just looked defeated. They looked exasperated. They were able to come back in that game. But sometimes, and we talked about this the other night too, it's a mindset. If you can have that belief, that's half the battle. That's almost 2/3 of the battle more often than not, that you can have that confidence that we're fine. It's going to be fine. Game's not over. We got lots of time to be able to do this, do that, whatever you think you're going to be able to accomplish. And that's something that Milaca has definitely had, but Sauk Center, they're a battle-tested group as well. So it's going to be really a battle tonight.
Well, if you take a look at Sauk Center last year, they were, I think you could kind of see what was coming for them. They're still a pretty young team. They only got 3 seniors on their squad, so they're going to be kind of like the Albany that we've seen throughout the years. They're just going to keep recouping. It's going to be fun to see where this Sauk Center team, but it's also going to be fun to see where this Milaca teams end up because, again, they also only have a few seniors on this roster, and they're going to have a majority of this roster back next year. And looking at their playoff run, they started off with a home game against Melrose where it was a 18-point victory. Then they went to St. Ben's, and they won over Spectrum. That was close at halftime, but Milaca really showed what they can do in that second half, and they won 61-35. And we're talking about that game we did on Tuesday over at St. Ben's in their section semifinal. Again, it was kind of an interesting game in that first half. It was a little bit of a slow start for both teams. They were kind of feeling each other out, but you mentioned it, and I might mention it at the perfect time, whoever settled in first was going to pull away and eventually win. And that's kind of the case that happened. Milaca settled in first. They were able to get ahead, and they never looked back. And again, talking about their defense, it is so dominant at times that I think sometimes it can get them into foul trouble. But again, we talk about that confidence this team has, even when they might run into a little bit of foul trouble like we've seen in the first half. We talked about how they had 2 players with 3 fouls out of the first half. They still played with such confidence. And even with 4 fouls, Sahlstrom had 4 fouls within the first few minutes of that second half. and she didn't foul again throughout the second half, and she was one of the keys to that win there in the second half. She played some really good defense, and she stepped up when Gothman had to check out with those 5 fouls. It's just great to see the way this team comes together and has each other's backs. It is so fun to see, and I can't wait to see what we're going to be able to witness from this team here tonight. I know you had kind of mentioned it on Tuesday, how this game could wind up being, again, very nicely with the way the refereeing could go. But why don't you recap that again, because I think it's an important note.
Yeah, and I want to make sure to be very clear for anybody checking in. This is definitely not a judgment of refereeing.
No.
That's not what I mean when I'm trying to say this. But it's more so a matter of the style of game that you have to adjust to based on how the game ends up being called. We've seen certain games where they will call things a little bit tight. They're going to call hand checks. They're going to call a little bit of contact. They're going to be calling things a little bit tight, and you got to adjust to that. You got to play a game that's that way. But we've also seen games that me and Adam were even talking earlier today about games back, in the past where you go up north. When Ram would have their section up at Romano Gymnasium, the northern part of the state calls games a little bit differently. It's a much more physical brand of basketball, especially on the interior. Guard play still gets called a little touchy, but in the interior especially, you can bang around, you can be physical, you're allowed to be able to, bounce around a little bit. And if the game is called a little bit more physically tonight, I think that favors the Wolves, or at least helps them a lot, because that's just a brand of defense that they play. They're not afraid to reach in there and grab the ball. They're not trying to reach in and just get a casual tie-up or just a tip ball. They're going to just reach in and take the ball right straight out your hands and try to be able to go the other direction with. That's what they do. And sometimes if the game's being called tight, you're going to get called on a reach-in foul. And for a Milaca team that in the previous game only went 6 deep in the second half, 7 deep for the bulk of the game, foul trouble could be a factor. On the other side of things, Sauk Center, they're a fairly deep ball club. Yeah. They have some talent. They can rotate in a bunch of different people. But it'll be interesting to see how the defenses are allowed to play, especially with the calling card, I guess, of Sauk Center is the 2 tall girls in the middle that can play just tremendous defense.
Yeah, they really can. And we'll talk more about that when we come back. We're first going to get a word from our fine sponsors here on Nice 95.5 as we're out at Hollenbeck Hall on the campus of St. Cloud State University for this Section 6 AA championship matchup between your Milaca Wolves and the Sauk Center Main Streeters.
The mushroom melt is back at A&W. How does this sound? Sautéed seasoned mushrooms and onions with melted Swiss cheese on your choice of a juicy burger or grilled chicken. Then add golden french fries and a medium soft drink. It's the mushroom melt and fries combo at A&W. Now, top it off with a classic A&W root beer float featuring vanilla soft serve and made fresh root beer, all in a frosty mug. Or how about the A&W root beer freeze? Signature combos and delicious treats always at your local A&W restaurant in Pine City.
Embrace Orthodontics offers a unique specialized approach to orthodontic treatment with custom braces or Invisalign. The team at Embrace loves getting to know their patients personally and takes the time to make sure all your questions are answered. Their board-certified orthodontists use only the latest in modern technology to give you the best outcome possible. They work with your insurance company and offer flexible financing options to fit your budget. Call today to set up your free exam and see how Embrace Orthodontics can transform your smile. More online at embracemn.com. That's embracemn.com.
Need reliable energy? Burnett Dairy Cooperative has you covered with top quality propane services. Whether you're heating your home, running your business, or firing up the grill, our propane is safe, efficient, and always dependable. Choose Burnett Dairy Cooperative Propane, your trusted partner for all things energy. Stay warm, stay powered, stay local.
Free college is possible at Pine Technical and Community College. Students of all ages may be eligible for a tuition and fee-free pathway to education thanks to the new North Star Promise Scholarship. If you're a resident of Minnesota and have a family-adjusted gross income of $80,000 or less, apply online today for free and join us in high-demand programs such as nursing, gunsmithing, machining, automated systems, cybersecurity, early childhood education, liberal arts, and more. Whether you're starting out or starting over, learn more at pine.edu.
Back here on the campus of the College of St. Cloud State. Got some Pine City Dragon fans in attendance and players as well here.
Here we go.
So all supporting Milaca here, of course, coming out to see some really good basketball between these two teams as we're on the campus of St. Cloud State at Hollenbeck Hall. Beautiful, beautiful arena. One of my favorite things about this arena is at the north end of it, you've got those bleachers that go back and up a little bit. Now, it might not be the greatest view, but it certainly looks pretty darn cool as we get ready for this Section 6 AA championship game between your Milaca Wolves and the Sauk Center Main Streeters. It should be a fun one here, and we were talking before we took a commercial break there about these two teams, the defenses that these two teams bring in, and just looking at the section, one of the teams that Milaca kind of defense, or I should say, their defense kind of reminds me of, or Morris reminds me of. Theirs is Morris. Mora plays a similar style to Milaca, and we saw Mora nearly beat some of the top teams in this section. So it's no wonder that this section was so deep, even with the teams that may not have those wins that you would expect on the season, but it just goes to show how deep this section can be, and I think how deep it's going to stay for the next couple of years.
Yeah, when you can play defense, as they say, defense never quits. The defense never graduates. Defense is something that you can do all the time. Shooting can kind of come and go. You can have different players and different setups, but defense is something that kind of sticks around regardless of what's happening. And so I think it's very interesting to see what these teams have done. And Milaca, clearly, as we've talked numerous different times or whatever, that's really their calling card on their side. On the other side, really, things start with Victoria Jennison and Elizabeth Herikoff. They're the twin towers that are inside. They're not always on the floor at the same time, but when you can have a 6-footer plus inside, they can move with some skill. We've seen some tall people in the past that kind of struggle to get their footwork going just right, but these two girls, they know what they're doing and they can move around. They affect what you do. You can't just drive inside and get to the basket because they're not going to follow you. They're just going to block your shot. They're going to knock it away, and that's something that they're able to do, which is why they've had so much success and are in the position that they're in. They knock that ball away, they deflect the ball, and then they start to fast break going the other direction, and that's something that they've been able to do all season long, which is why they're at where they're at.
They are, and if I may switch to the offensive side real quick, they've got a really good player who may not start in the starting 5 each game, but she comes off the bench and is their leader, and it's no doubt she is. Kaylin Suflo. She is a very good ball handler. Man, is she one of the toughest players on the court. If she's on the court, you know she's going to be getting in your face defensively, but offensively she can turn it around, turn it into offense real quick. I've been so impressed in being able to watch her play through some of these playoff games, just her toughness and her tenacity to be able to drive inside. It's not easy. She's not the biggest player out there. She's one of the shorter ladies on this Sauk Center team, but man, her tenacity, her will and want to score for her team and do her job is just so fun to watch. And for Milaca, rather, it's kind of the same thing. And it kind of goes 5 deep for them. When all 5 players are out there, there's not one of them that isn't going to drive inside, that isn't going to take those hard fouls, that isn't going to be willing to try and go up for a rebound no matter how many hands or how much bumping there is inside. Milaca's offense is willing to do what it takes to get the ball back for their offense for second chance scoring opportunities. And in that game against Royalton, we've seen they did a really good job of that.
Yeah, and that's something we talked about even before the beginning of that game as well, that it really what it comes down to is fearlessness. They're not afraid of anything. They're willing to go in, bang around, and take that contact, because you know what happens with contact? You get a foul. You go to the free throw line, you get a chance to be able to get some points. And both teams have that interest and ability to be able to just try to battle inside and be able to do that. And it's, you talked about it, it's a mindset. You got to have that mindset and willingness to be able to do that. And not every team, not every person has that ability, but these two teams, they're not afraid at all. They have a fearlessness that is pretty uncommon in a lot of sports.
And that's probably why they're both here in this section championship game. It takes a lot of fearlessness to get here. And continuing to talk offense, I think for the most part, Annabelle Gothman kind of runs things offensively, but their ability to play so selflessly, I think, is one of the keys for this offense here as they've gone, especially throughout the playoffs. You can have one player who kind of stands out point scoring rise, but when you have the ability to have 3-4 young ladies out on the court who can get it done and score in double digits, that is dangerous for any team that you play against. Now, Willow Hunt won't always get the credit for the points, and she doesn't always score the most points, but it's her ability to rebound inside and kick back outside for the other 4. That is why they're so successful. And again, just all 5's ability to be out there. Now, again, looking at this game, how big of an importance is it going to be for Milaca to try and go a little bit deeper than 5-6 in a half? And will it play any factor at all for Sauk Center in how deep they go?
I think that we're going to find out how this game is going to go pretty quickly tonight, because I got to believe that part of the game plan for Coach Haas of the Milaca Wolves is going to be to try to attack the interior, try to be able to get past the guards, get to the inside, and try to maybe be able to get those two big girls into some foul trouble. You almost have to try to do that. You can't be just afraid of them. And the Wolves have not, they've been fearless all season long, so why start now? I think that that's got to be part of what their game plan is to just be aggressive, try to battle inside, and try to be able to get there. If they're able to get inside and get some foul trouble going, then they got a pretty good shot. If they get inside and they start seeing shots blocked or things like that start to happen, you're going to see the Wolves maybe start to pull back just a little bit, shoot maybe mid-range jumpers, perimeter jump shots, which isn't necessarily a downside, but it's not necessarily the strong suit of what the Wolves are. So we'll see how well they're able to attack that interior. And like I said, if they can get downhill early, that's going to be what they're going to try to do, and that's where they're going to try to go. And if you're a Wolves fan, that's what you kind of hope for, and hopefully that works. And they're able to come away with the victory against a tough Main Streeter squad.
This is going to be a fun one. And in looking in offense once again, we saw on Tuesday, Sahlstrom, maybe one of the shorter players on the court, was guarding Royalton's tallest player, and it affected Royalton. Do you think we'll see something like that scheme-wise for the Wolves again?
I think that there's a chance of it. I think that the height that Sauk Center brings may lessen that chance, but I like the idea of what they're doing. Basically, what they're trying to do is they're just trying to bait you into putting that ball in the interior. You put that ball into the interior, the Wolves collapse at the basketball so well that all of a sudden now you spin away. You think you're just going to turn around, a little jump shot, and be able to knock something down over somebody a foot shorter than you. But you turn around and you got two different girls in your face, and you kind of panic. You don't know what to do. You try to spin back the other direction. There's a triple team there. You end up turning the ball over. Royalton was able to kind of get away from that a little bit and be able to keep the ball out of the interior, which is how they were able to cut the lead down to just a couple. But Milaca does such a good job of kind of baiting you into that and getting you a little bit frustrated. And I think it's probably going to be something that they're going to try to do yet tonight again. We'll see if they do have Bella Sahlstrom try to guard either Jennison or Harikoff. But, they're trying to, they want the ball to go to a certain place, and they want to dictate what you do on offense. They make you think that you're getting it to an advantage, but it's really an advantage for them. And we'll see if the Main Streeters go for that, or if they're able to get the ball shot over the top of the triple team or keep the ball high.
Well, that is some of what we'll bring you here tonight. We're going to take another commercial break. We'll be right back for some keys to this game for the Milaca Wolves and what we think they need to do to win. But first, a word from our fine sponsors as you're listening to Section 6 AA Championship Basketball here on Nice 95.5 KBEK.
And here's the pitch.
Here's the pitch, the premier indoor batting cages in North Branch. Whether you're trying to make the team or take the team to the next level, Here's the Pitch has state-of-the-art pitching machines for both baseball and fast-pitch softball. $35 gets you cage time with your own pitcher. $40 gets you cage time using one of their top-tier pitching machines. Screens, plates, helmets, they've got the equipment, you provide the batter. Find Here's the Pitch on Facebook or visit here'sthepitchmn.com. here'sthepitchmn.com.
Physical therapy. It's one of those services you don't think about until you need it. Pain happens. Count on the team at Physical Therapy Consultants to help. Physical Therapy Consultants, with locations in North Branch, Isanti, Zimmerman, St. Francis, Andover, and Ham Lake, accept all insurance plans, workers' comp, and auto. Their expertise can help you and your body repair. Find out how Physical Therapy Consultants can help you heal. Call 1-888-THERAPY today. 1-888-THERAPY for Physical Therapy Consultants.
Aurelius Manufacturing has been providing innovative solutions to customers since 1926. Specializing in the production of custom welded hydraulic cylinders for over 40 years, our focus is on providing value to customers through innovative problem solving, quality workmanship, and customer service. Our team works with your team to develop designs that provide the most value for your application. We leverage technology and craftsmanship, turning designs into finished products quickly and accurately.
Arrowhead Transit, your community, your ride. Arrowhead Transit is proud to support this station and bring you reliable public transportation in your community. Whether you need to get to work, school, or the doctor's office, our friendly drivers and comfortable buses are here to serve you. We're committed to connecting communities and making transportation accessible for everyone. Arrowhead Transit is your community partner in getting around. Arrowhead Transit is a supporting sponsor of the station and is dedicated to supporting our local communities.
At Burnett Dairy Cooperative, we're more than just your local dairy. We're also a trusted propane provider, serving homes, farms, and businesses across northwestern Wisconsin and east central Minnesota. Whether you need a tank installed or reliable delivery, we're here for you 365 days a year with flexible options that fit your needs. As a farmer-owned cooperative, we're committed to supporting our community because your home and farm deserve the best. Call 715-689-1032 to learn more. Burnett Dairy Propane, serving you with pride every day of the year.
Back here on 95.5 FM KBEK, getting set for tip-off here. Just about ready, but first we're going to get some keys to this game for the Milaca Wolves and what we think they need to do to win. Andy, I'll start with you. What do the Milaca Wolves need to do here tonight, whether it's throughout the entire game, to get started in the game, or just to finish the game? What do they need to do to win here tonight?
I think that initially they just need to make sure that they can settle in. We talked about this the other night at St. Ben's, that the first team to settle in was going to be able to likely come away with the victory, and that's really what happened. The Wolves settled in for maybe a little bit before Royalton. They were able to build up about a 7-8 point lead, and that ended up being the difference in the ball game. Ultimately, it was a 3-point ball game, but they held that 7-8 point lead for the bulk of the entire contest, and it was just because they were able to settle in. Tonight's going to be a little bit different because Sauk Center's a little bit more experienced. They've been on a floor like this before. They've been in these big spots, so I think that they're going to settle in really, really quickly. And so if the Wolves can settle in rapidly, I think that that's going to be a big key for them. As far as long-term throughout the course of the game, I think that the biggest key in my mind is just to continue to be fearless. If they drive inside and have a couple of shots blocked, they have to stick with that. If that's what the game plans, they have to still keep going after them and trying to be able to either get fouls or be able to get points inside. They have to keep doing that. They can't just settle for shots because it's going to be a little easier to shoot over the top of somebody on the perimeter. You're giving up possessions at that point in time. You're not playing Wolves basketball at that point in time.
Yeah, I'm going to echo that, but I'm going to say something that might seem a little redundant, but I want to see them test the waters early. I want to see them see how the refs are going to call this one so that they can determine, hey, are we going to be able to play our aggressive style of basketball and play the way we want? Are we going to have to switch it up just a little bit? I want to see them test the waters early so that they don't have to take too long in determining, hey, which way do we need to go to play this game? That way they can fix it early on. They don't have to wait till halftime to go over some big fixes. But how important, if that is the case, whether it is they are able to play it or they aren't, how important is it for them to try and adjust on the fly?
Yeah, they're going to have to be very flexible right from the jump. Like you said, I love the idea of trying to attack, trying to be able to get in there, find out how this game is going to be called. But you also, whether it be a timeout or whether it be just a conversation before the game starts, you have to make sure everybody's on the same page. And like, okay, if this happens, this is how we're going to adjust, or this is how we're going to flex. You have to be able to do that a little bit in a ball game like tonight. And I think that, one of the biggest things is going to be the rebounding. I think that that's going to be a key. We talk about how aggressive they are rebounding, but that's what Sauk Center, one of the things they like to do. They got the two big girls in the middle, so they obviously can rebound. They kind of remind me a little bit of Pine City boys, where they're going to hoist 47 threes tonight because they have the ability to rebound. They're going to get second chance points. If Milaca can limit those second chance points and continue rebounding like they have been able to all year long, that's going to go a long way to winning tonight's game.
Certainly is. We're going to have tip-off and your starting lineups when we come back, but first, a word from our fine sponsors. We'll have our national anthem during those sponsors, and then we'll be back for your starting lineups and tip-off here on Nice 95.5 FM KBEK.
A&W Restaurant Pine City is still making fresh root beer, that signature item since 1919. It's still made fresh and on-site with real cane sugar and a blend of secret ingredients. It doesn't get any better than this. Their world-renowned A&W root beer is a classic treat, and they can top it off with creamy vanilla soft serve to be known as the famous A&W Root Beer Float. Now that's smooth, tasty, and refreshing. An American iconic A&W Root Beer Float. It never tasted so good. A&W Restaurant Pine City. Come grab your Root Beer Float today.
coming to the Target Center March 22nd. March 22nd. Kid Rock. And you're going to the show. Kid Rock. Listen to Rockin' Robin in the morning. KBEK for your tickets. Kid Rock. Radio edit. Free concert tickets for listening. Kid Rock at the Target Center, March 22nd. You're going to the show. Brought to you by Marge's Pub and Grub in Brook Park, ABC Lumber in Siren, and Nice 95.5.
Hey there, neighbors. Matt Winsan, CEO Burnett Dairy. Farmers are the people that wake up before the sun, who battle the elements, and tend to their crops and herds with a passion that runs deep in their veins. At this time, I would personally like to thank the farmers. From all of us at Burnett Dairy Cooperative to all of our incredible farmers, thank you. Burnett Dairy Cooperative. Real farms, real flavor.
Your journey to smile with your forever starts at Embrace Orthodontics. The team at Embrace is committed to providing world-class care and a remarkable orthodontic experience. Choose between custom Light Force braces or Invisalign clear aligners with locations in Pine City, Lindstrom, and Cambridge, and a plan to fit your budget, whether you have insurance or not. Embrace Orthodontics will make your smile journey comfortable, convenient, and customized just for you. Visit EmbraceMN.com today to find out how to set up your free exam. EmbraceMN.com. Embrace Orthodontics. A smile you will embrace forever.
Baseball and softball coaches, are you looking for dry, warm practice time?
Here's the Pitch in North Branch can help. Here's the Pitch offers amazing indoor options for your team,
Offering state-of-the-art pitching machines and batting cages.
and space for you to give instruction without worrying about the weather outside.
Take your athletes to the next level.
Coach up your team during every season or off-season. Affordable practice space for your ball teams.
Make your reservation today.
Call Here's the Pitch today or visit them on Facebook.
Here's the Pitch in North Branch.
Back here on Nice 95.5 FM KBK. Hey, I'm getting the jurors out early. That's all I'm doing. That's all I'm doing. As we before we get started, I just want to take this time to thank all of our fine sponsors here on KBEK. We thank you for all of them. Again, if it weren't for them, we wouldn't be able to be out here and call this game. Also want to thank all of the people who are tuning in tonight. If you're not able to make it out here, we appreciate you tuning in. You give us a job to do, because if no one's tuning in, well, they tell us not to come. So thank you so much for tuning in. As we will get started with your starting lineups here with the Sauk Center Main Streeters. They are the designated home team here on this court tonight. And starting for them will be number 11, Kaylin Suflo. Then number 15, Sierra Corton. Then number 21, Maddie Schuster. Number 35, Elizabeth Herikoff. And number 45, Victoria Jennison. They are, of course, head coached by Scott Bergman. On the other side for your Milaca Wolves, it's going to be number 3, Bella Solstrom. Number 10, Annabelle Gothman. Number 12, Ashley Drugsma. Number 22, Madison Gothman. And number 24, Willow Hunt. They are, of course, head coached by Todd Haas. Sauk Center will wear their maroon home uniforms, the white letters and numbers, the white stripe down the side of the jersey in short, the white trim on the neck and sleeve of the jersey. Then the Wolves will be in their white away uniforms, the red letters and numbers outlined in black. The trim on the neck is red with that middle black stripe. The red trim on the bottom of the shorts with the black stripe around it as well. Out here at Hollenbeck Hall, Ethan Game Day Gilman joined by Andy Beckstrom for this evening's Section 6 AA Championship game. And Andy, any final thoughts before we get to tip-off?
No, nothing earth-shattering. Just excited to get things going here. Really good crowd on hand. We got both pep bands going. We got student sections all set to go with whatever they're going to bring to the table. We're kind of in the heart of Sauk Centerland, so
Yes.
Careful on the broadcast here, Ethan, on that one. But we got all the Milaca fans across the way from us. Really good turnout out here at the ballpark. Of course, Bram playing Walker Hackensack a little bit later on tonight here in this same site. So we're going to see some more of our local fans piling in when we get closer to halftime, but should be an absolutely tremendous atmosphere for today's matchup.
Well, if this is any indication that they might have Solstrom on, one of the taller players, I would say so. Solstrom is going to let the tip-off go to Sauk Center. It's going to be won by Herikoff. Herikoff will take it up on the near side. She wanted to give to Suflo, being guarded by one of the Gothmans. Now she gives it in the near side corner. She will go underneath, and it's an early 2 for Jennison.
And that's really what they're going to try to do. They're going to try to front the post, force them to lob over the top, but so much height with Herikoff and Jennison that it's going to be tough to be able to knock that ball away. Willow Hunt did everything she could on that one.
Willow Hunt's going to take a long 2. It looked good. It's going to be far rebound for Droogsma. She comes up with it underneath, trying to go to Madison Goffman. It's going to stay with the Wolves. It was last touch out of bounds by the Main Streeters. The Wolves will hold on to it. 2-0 already our score. Sahlstrom will get set to inbound for the Wolves. Sahlstrom looking. She'll get it out on the far side to Madison Goffman. Now to Droogsma. Droogsma looking. She'll try to drive inside. Picks up her dribble. Gives to Willow Hunt for 3. Off the mark. Sahlstrom going to come up with the rebound for the Wolves. She goes here to Droogsma for a long 2. That didn't get the roll she wanted. It's going to be rebounded here by Victoria Jennison, but she's guarded well. Now gives to Suflo. Suflo gets a screen from Jennison, and Suflo going to bring it up the court, past the timeline, working quickly inside. Now gives it outside here to Corton. Corton trying to drive inside. She'll give inside to Jennison for another 2, and just that time the mismatch underneath.
And that's just the attacking nature of Sauk Center. They try to drive inside, get that defense to flow your direction, and then just screen on the post on the weak side.
Sahlstrom has it on the elbow now to Willow Hunt, left alone from 3. They're going to leave her alone from 3. Willow Hunt, not the top three-point shooter that the Wolves had, so they know she's not going to have a lot of chance. We're going to get an early foul here. That's a good call, though. She had her hand on that one.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a reach in there, got a hand on the ball. Sauk Center's going to say that it got all ball, but did kind of get part of that arm with that one when it got knocked away.
Sahlstrom will get set to inbound from the baseline. She'll inbound on the near side to Droogsma. Droogsma going to try and work it inside. She'll give it over to Madison Goffman, now to Annabelle Goffman. Standing at the top of the key, giving it near side to Hunt. Now on the near side, Droogsma's going to take a 3. It was blocked, and Droogsma get it back, but blocked by Harikoff. We're going to see that, hopefully not too much tonight, as the Wolves can try and get that one around. And are we going to get a foul here? We will.
And I'm going to say that I'm not going to say good call, bad call. More so a matter of this is going to be 2 fouls there on Madeline Schuster. But more so, this might be an indication of how the game is going to be played. Like, that's more of a touchy type of foul, which right now I don't know that necessarily bodes real well.
No.
But Wolves should be able to overcome that.
Madison Goffman give inside to Willow Hunter. That's Annabelle. And that shot just off the mark, rebounded by Harikoff. And they'll give it up now to Detterman as she brings it up the court. Sizing up Madison Goffman. She'll drift to the far side, hand it off to Corton. Corton now trying to get around Annabelle. She drives inside. The shot is up. Had a hand on it, but Corton got her own rebound. Put back for 2.
Wolves got to rebound better on that one as they got all the way in, and it was Cortum, the only one that was in there, that came away with their own rebound after she over-pursued it. Wolves got to be able to come away with that ball.
Annabelle Goffman gives near side to Sahlstrom. She's got a screen. She'll take that 3. Oh, off the mark, but nice job being right there for the rebound is Annabelle Goffman. Kick outside to Sahlstrom on the far side. Sahlstrom has it, looking at Droogsma. Now inside, spins around, trying to get it to Annabelle Goffman. She stops, pauses on the far side, now drifts to the top of the key. Wanted to go to Madison. Madison telling her what to do. Now she gives to Droogsma. Droogsma will drive inside. That's high off the backboard, no good. Harikoff another rebound, and so far the Twin Towers inside doing their job. Suflo will bring it up the court. She's got a lot of speed, trying to drive inside against Droogsma. Now she gives it outside. Harikoff here. Harikoff will put it up and in for 2.
And now a quick timeout by Coach Haas, and that's exactly what we were talking about, that they're going to utilize the Twin Towers inside between Harikoff and Jennison, and they're using it to perfection here in the early going.
It'll be a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it right here. 8-0 early on, and right now, Andy, yes, they are using the Twin Towers like you just mentioned, but what I'm also seeing is their transition offense getting out a little bit quicker than the Milaca's defense.
Yeah, Milaca's trying to collapse at the other end, but they're not getting back quite quick enough. I don't know if they're kind of caught off by the ability, especially of Harikoff, to be able to handle the basketball, is kind of maybe throwing off the vibe just a little bit, but it's tough to be able to rebound. Rebounding more often than not is a mind game and a mental toughness type of thing. But when you got people that are almost a foot taller than you, sometimes height plays a factor.
Yeah, certainly. As a short guy, I certainly know what height does. We will get Milaca to inbound here. Annabelle to Madison. Madison will bring it forward. Madison up past the timeline now. She stares down the defender looking. She'll give it on the far side to Annabelle. I think once they get their first shot in, they'll be just fine. And, well, there you go. Annabelle Goffman. You talk about the announcers jinx working in the other way. We'll take credit for that, right?
You know, you got to use it when you can. Good, bad, otherwise, you got to use it.
Annabelle Goffman for 3. It's 8-3 now. Corton will bring it forward, trying to get around Annabelle Goffman. She got the spin move that time. Trying to go inside, but it's Droogsma with the steal. Drugsma said, not this time. Up the court now to Solstrom. Solstrom trying to use her speed. Spin back around. Give to Drugsma for 2, a long 3. Excuse me, it's good!
Beautiful attack there by Bella Solstrom. Get that defense to collapse, turn around, and hand it off for a wide open shot.
That time they were guarding well inside. Now Suflo will put up a shot. It's no good. Madison Gothman with the rebound against one of the Twin Towers. Now Madison Gothman will bring it forward on the near side. Madison Gothman trying to drive inside. She'll give now to Willow Hunt. She'll give to Drugsma on the near side. Drugsma taking it towards the top of the key. Give to Annabelle Gothman. Annabelle looking for a screen. Wanted to take that 3, but she has to pull it down. Now she's in a little bit of trouble. We'll give to Willow Hunt. Willow Hunt on the near side. Gives to Solstrom. She wanted a screen. Not going to happen. Suflo's there. She will get that screen now. She's going to try and drive inside. She lost the ball, but Willow Hunt gets it back. Drugsma wanted the long 2 and said she has to hold on to it. 7 to shoot, 6 to shoot, 5 to shoot. Drugsma will try to give outside. Ill-advised pass there, and we're going to get a foul here, I think, on Solstrom. Yeah.
That was a tough pass there by Drugsma. Kind of got herself into a little bit of trouble. It probably could have just tried to throw one towards the basket rather than try to force something across the lane.
Yeah, that was one where it's one too many passes. We've seen that there late in the game on Tuesday where the Royals were making a little bit of a comeback, but they were, again, able to correct it just like they were here going on a 6-0 run to get back within 2. Suflo has it at the top of the key. She'll look and give it off on the far side now to Detterman. Detterman inside trying to get to Harrikoff. Harrikoff off the glass and good for 2.
Now, if that's an indication the other direction, I thought that I had seen maybe a touchy call on the other side on that block, but that was definitely Janet or Harrikoff backing down hard there on Hunt.
Oh, travel inside was missed. They'll get it now. And Madison Gothman doesn't believe it, but it is the right call, unfortunately.
And I like the job there by the freshman Annabelle Gothman saying, all right, they're going to let you play a little bit. Let's not let that get into our head. Let's use that to our advantage because I think a more physical game is to their advantage.
Well, and again, we talked about how close this team is, how long they've been playing together, and that just shows right there. As Detterman will bring it forward for Sauk Center, trying to get around Solstrom. Solstrom not going to allow an inch. Oh, nice job by Solstrom to allow that shot to get missed, and Drugsma will get the rebound. She'll give it up to Annabelle Gothman. Annabelle Gothman stops, takes it down the near side. We've seen Sauk Center do this the other night, trying to use the Atlanta Braves chant to their advantage, and Annabelle Gothman no good on the floater this time. Rebound no good again. It's going to be rebounded inside by Jenna Riley.
We've gotten to the point now where Milaca really needs to be able to attack and be able to take advantage as Jennison has worked out of the game and Harrikoff is the only Twin Tower in there.
Annabelle Gothman with a steal. She read that like a book. She's going to take it the distance, kick outside to Madison, but ooh, that was lucky. That wasn't taken away. Corton in the way of Madison Gothman nearly for the steal, but at least the Wolves will get it back as that one was knocked out of bounds. 12:39 to go in the first half. Wolves trail only by 4. Early impressions for you, Andy?
I think that I've been impressed with the Twin Towers inside and their ability to rebound. Milaca's going to have to figure out a way to be able to beat that rebounding edge just a little bit, but they got to get Willow Hunt going just a little bit. She's taking some shots, but she's got to have some of those fall.
Yeah, she's got to get those to fall because if she does, this is going to really start to turn in Milaca's favor. This ball nearly knocked away from Harrikoff. She's going to get it outside now to Detterman for 3. That's going to be no good. And rebounded by Annabelle Gothman. You just got to love her work ethic.
Beautiful job there by Bella Solstrom taking on one of the Twin Towers there in Harrikoff and slapping it away from her.
Drugsma a little too strong on that layup attempt. It's rebounded by Harrikoff, and she'll just hand it right to Detterman. Also in the game for the Streeters is Peyton Borgman. As now with it inside, Jenna Riley will give it near side here to Detterman. Detterman want to go back inside to Harrikoff. Nothing doing there. She'll give to Riley. Now inside to Harrikoff. Trying to back down Willow Hunt. She gives outside to Detterman for 3. That's going to be good.
And that's something we talked about, that Milaca's going to collapse on the interior pass like that. But Sauk Center with the Twin Towers, they've seen that many times before. If they can hit their outside shots, it's going to be a long night for Milaca.
Annabelle Gothman give to Solstrom, top of the key to Madison, now to Drugsma. She wanted the 3, got the defender to move.
Beautiful.
To Willow Hunt inside, and it's in for 2.
That's a beautiful move there by Drugsma and a great find across the paint.
I mean, you can't ask for much better if you're the Wolves there on that one. Detterman trying to get it on this near side against Madison Gothman. Now she'll give it top of the key to Jenna Riley. Riley guarded by Drugsma. She has to pick up her dribble, give to Detterman. Detterman will look for a screen on the far side. She gets it, but Drugsma is right there. Get back outside Riley for 3. That's going to be off the mark, and a foul.
Are you going to get a jump?
No, they're getting a foul.
There was a fair amount of contact there.
There was. I thought she had stepped on the line or traveled there. I mean, it was close. Solstrom will get her second Team second as well.
Back in Suflo and Jennison. Jennison, the other twin tower.
Well, I think that's why Sauk Center is so nice. They can, when they got one out, they can sub in another one, plus another skill position player. This ball going to go out of bounds. They're going to say knocked out by Sauk Center, or excuse me, the Milaca Wolves, so we'll stay with Sauk Center. That was close as well here on the near side. Haas saying he had the better advantage than the referee. Sauk Center will inbound. Riley will go right inside to Jennison. She'll kick outside, far side to number 13, Borgman. This shot no good. No surprise that Jennison will get the rebound up over everybody. Shot's no good. They're going to get another foul here on the Wolves.
See, that play right there is what I mean when, how are they going to call this game? Because there was some contact there. I'm not going to deny that all whatsoever. But certain officials will, nope, that was straight up. You just kind of ran into him. You initiated the contact, and it's clear that they're going to be running this one a little bit tighter.
This first one is up and good by Jennison. So now 14-8. This one good as well. 2 for 2 there for Jennison to make it 15-8. The advantage for the Streeters, but here come the Wolves quickly up the court. Annabelle Goffman give to Madison. Madison has to get back to Annabelle in this near side corner. Looks for a screen, having to dribble out of that corner. Now give to Madison. Madison trying to back down the defender inside. Shots up and good, plus the and one.
Triple team with a 6'4 center. I got you.
And they're going to actually get Jennison with that first foul. So her first, team's third. And now at the line for the possible three-point play is going to be Madison Goffman. Will Hunt will check in for Droogsma. Also out there for the Wolves is Kylie Johnson.
Again, we don't see the Wolves go too terribly deep. Usually Grace Haas maybe makes an appearance. But right now, Kylie Johnson, the only substitute in there, kind of rotating around that one position with the starters.
That is good. It's a three-point play for Madison Goffman, and it's 15-11, and just like that, right back in it. Here comes Suflo, though, the other way. Picked up her dribble, wanted to give it to her teammate. There's nothing doing there. Detterman. And now nearly stolen away. It is going to be stolen away. Suflo going to give it up to Sahlstrom, and Sahlstrom taking it up the court. She looks for the two from the free throw line. A little bit quick there, Andy. What do you think? But Will Hunt gets the steal back on the rebound from Jennison.
This is that aggressive nature of the Wolves we've talked about numerous times. Getting after the ball, taking it away if you leave that ball out there, they're going to snatch it right out of your hands.
Well, and I think Jennison just thought because she had the advantage, she had it. And Willow Hunt said absolutely not. Now give inside to Kylie Johnson. Ooh, that looked like could have been some contact there on the shot. No foul call. Jennison's going to get the rebound, but she's bothered inside by Willow Hunt again. She lost the ball, giving it up. It's going to go out of bounds. That should be Milaca Wolves' ball. It is.
That's that aggressive nature. Woo! Again, you don't have to play defense just in the half court. Ball comes down, we're going to trap your center who may not be as confident with the basketball. I don't know that Jennison is really used to handling the ball. Usually get the rebound, pass it out. No, we're going to ball deny it, and we're going to harass the ever-living heck out of you and force you into some tough pressure.
That one was good, just off the mark, and Jennison will get another rebound. They're trying to bother her, but she gets this pass off in time to Detterman, now to Suflo. Suflo brings it up the court at the top of the key, drifting to the near side. Shot is up, and that's not going to get the roll, and Kylie Johnson comes up with the rebound.
That's a big-time break there by the Wolves. It was a great move by Suflo to get to the basket. Just didn't fall.
Annabelle Goffman gives inside to Hunt now on the near side for Kylie Johnson. She'll hand to Sahlstrom. Sahlstrom wanted to go to Annabelle, but now has to take it herself, give to Annabelle on the far side. Annabelle Goffman with it, trying to get around the couple defenders. Oh, what a spin move inside, shots up, but no good. Herikoff with the rebound. I think looking for a little bit of contact there was Annabelle Goffman, but here comes the other way, Detterman. Detterman with some numbers up the other way. She's going to take it inside herself, give back to Jennison. Jennison lost it underneath. Give outside Detterman. No good on that one. This rebound up for grabs. It's going to be Madison Goffman who comes away with it.
I really liked that job there on that one where Jennison got it a little bit deep on the baseline, and quickly Kylie Johnson just went and closed that gap and said, you're not going to come off that baseline to get to the rim.
Oh, there we go. Sahlstrom was fouled hard there as she went for that ball, trying to keep possession with her team. She's going to get fouled. This one's going to be the first on Sierra Corton, the team's fourth. Droogsma will check back into the game, and now Maddie Schuster in for the Streeters. 8:28 to go, 15-11 here in the first half on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. Wolves trail by 4. Inbound to Drugsma on the far side. Drugsma will dribble towards the paint. Now gives to Hunt just outside the paint for 2. Just off the mark and rebounded there by Jennison. And you mentioned it earlier, Andy. Just got to get her going. And once she does, this offense is going to be moving quite cleanly.
And she's a terrific player. I really like her game. Very solid. She does a lot of the little things very well. But just having a tough night shooting right now. If she can get that sorted out, they got a really good chance.
Suflo for 3 the other way, make it 18-11. And we've seen this Milaca defense do a really good job. It's just unfortunate that their offense can't come away with points every possession as Madison Goffman's layup is no good. Rebounded, though, by Willow Hunt. A 3 from Drugsma is going to be no good, and rebounded here by Harikoff. Suflo bring it forward again past the timeline right at that St. Cloud State logo. She drives towards the top of the key, give on the near side now to Harikoff. Harikoff will go inside Jennison, and just a little bit of miscommunication there on the side of the Wolves as they leave her alone underneath.
And there's not much you can do with that. I mean, you front the post to try to deny that ball, but it's such a nice lob pass and a fundamentally sound waiting to come off of that block.
Here's Annabelle Gotham with it at the top of the key. Give over to Drugsma on the far side. Now to Willow Hunt, who's in the corner on the far side. Give to Madison Gotham. Looking for a screen from Solstrom. She gets it. Will drive inside. Give to Willow Hunt. Oh, she just caught herself too far underneath the basket. And, oh, my goodness. Gonna get the rebound are the Streeters. They almost lost that out of bounds, but they were able to corral it before it goes out. Suflo bringing it forward, trying to get around Solstrom. Solstrom, a solid defender. Oh, she lost the ball. Travel. Yes, absolutely.
I was just going to say the Euro step in high school basketball has kind of reared its ugly head a little bit. When done right, it's actually kind of fun, but there's been too many times where it kind of is almost like a travel like that.
We got a timeout here by the Milaca Wolves. It'll be their second. They'll be left with 3. And this one is going to be a full timeout. So while they take a timeout, we'll take one as well here. You're listening to Section Championship Basketball on KBEK.
Brad here from Lee's Pro Shop in Pine City. We're a full-service lettering shop with a full line of athletic supplies for any sport. We have professional staff here at Lee's Pro Shop to customize your orders. We are the pros who specialize in athletic apparel and equipment. We even do trophies and awards as well as computerized engraving in the store. Let Lee's Pro Shop help you with any athletic apparel. Lee's Pro Shop, servicing our communities since 1973, where the passion for sports begins.
Back here on KBEK, Ethan Game Day Gilman, Andy Beckstrom out at Hollenbeck Hall on the campus of St. Cloud State for this Section 6AA championship game between the Sauk Center Main Streeters and the Milaca Wolves. And Andy, so far the defense for Milaca has actually been playing pretty well. It's just their offense hasn't been able to take advantage of their good defense as well as they would like.
Yeah, and they're playing it well. There's a couple of small things to kind of clean up a little bit where if you're going to front from the post, you have to make sure you have somebody drifting on the weak side to be able to get over there to kind of stand in where the lob pass goes to Jennison over the top. If there's somebody standing over there, she's not going to know they're there and run her over, and it's going to be a foul on her on an offensive foul. But nobody's drifting over right now to be able to get that backside.
As Annabelle Gotham will bring it forward, she'll look, give it on the near side to Madison. Madison being patient, waiting for the offensive setup. She finds a lane inside, going to take it aggressively. She's fouled. Andy, I know we're for the Wolves. That I don't know about, that foul.
I mean, that's what they want to do. That's what we talked about before. And they want to get inside, they want to attack, and they want to try to see what they're going to be calling tonight. And that one, I think that the Wolves, yes, they're happy to be able to get the foul, but I think that they would like to see that not be a foul just because of the defensive side on the other end.
Madison Gothman will shoot 2. The first one is up and good. But like you said, Andy, they'll take the free throws because, again, these are free points. Now, we've seen it on Tuesday in the second half. Wasn't so good for them. I think this might play a bigger factor than we think, but not too big here in this one. As she makes them both.
It'll be a factor because it tends to, especially in close games, be a factor.
Yeah.
But I think that they got a little more confidence going into this game.
Absolutely, as Suflo has it. She's bothered by
Great ball denial.
Wow. Just great defense. Corton has it now. She'll step back nearly to the timeline, trying to work on Annabelle Gothman, but good luck there trying to get a free line. And Annabelle Gothman gets the block and the steal. She'll take it up the court the other way, trying to go fast break with it. She got the defender to move. Oh my goodness, breaking her ankles, but couldn't complete the shot. They're gonna get a foul. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know that I like that. She was awfully close to being able to have a hold on the ball. I mean, that's probably a good call because I think she did get the arm.
Yeah.
But she was awfully close, and that's what Milaca does. That aggressive reaching defense, they're going to get those hands in there. They're going to try to knock that ball away, and sometimes you just get caught.
8th rebound, by the way, for Hirikoff on the night for Sauk Center as they bring it back the other way with Suflo once again. She's their ball handler trying to get around Madison Gossman. She got a little bit of an edge. Ooh, travel inside. It has to. Jump ball. We'll take it.
Yep.
I think that was really close to a travel, but they got him to tie it up before that happened. So the ball will go back to the Wolves.
And in a way, I think that, ultimately ends up being a turnover on Sauk Center, but I think that bailed them out from the travel.
Yeah.
If they don't call the travel, then it's that. But if they don't call the jump ball, definitely a travel.
Under 6 minutes to go, 20-13 on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. Wolves trail by 7. Kick on the far side for Willow Hunt. Looking, trying to be patient, waiting, dribbling it now to the top of the key. She's going to try for 3 again, racing after her own rebound. It's no good. And on the far side, it's going to be Jenna Riley who comes up with it for the Streeters, but it's stolen away by Willow Hunt, and she comes back and hits a 2.
And I really like the aggressiveness that you got to be in the ear of Willow Hunt tonight, that she's missed a couple of shots, but keep shooting, keep attacking, keep being who you are.
Suflo will give off to Jenna Riley. Oh, no, nobody there. And an easy 2.
Just got caught up in some traffic there, and an easy lay-in at the other end by Riley.
Droogsma got there, just not in time, unfortunately. It's 22-15. Back up the other way, Madison Goffman with it, trying to take a really wide layup. Andy, I don't know about that one. I think she's got to find a shot there, but it doesn't matter. Solstrom's going to get the steal right back, and then the 3 is off the mark.
And you've seen a couple of turnovers in the backcourt there by the Main Streeters because they know they're going to get trapped. They're trying to outlet the ball as quickly as possible and sometimes get themselves into trouble.
Corton trying to give it back out top of the key to Jenna Riley on the far side. Suflo. That rings around.
That's just good ball rotation. The defense just couldn't quite get there. They drifted off to be able to force that shot, but just a better rotation by Sauk Center.
Now a 10-point lead for Sauk Center. Andy, if you're the Wolves here, obviously you can't panic, but a 10-point lead, this is obviously nothing to panic about if you're them.
No, you just got to keep playing your game, and you can't have turnovers like this where the ball just gets thrown away. You got to keep playing your game on offense and somehow be able to maintain their defensive intensity.
Yeah, and I think here late as this first half winds down to its close, 4:23 to go, I think one of the biggest things here now as we get to the end of the first half is just trying to maintain, cut down the turnovers. I think for Milaca is one of the keys. And take high percentage shots here as we go throughout the rest of this first half. As Suflo brings it forward, she'll give on that far side now to Detterman. Detterman inside and able to back down the defender is Jennison.
And that's just a matter of just banging around inside and just physical play, and they're going to let them battle on that low block.
Annabelle Goffman with it, takes it to the near side elbow. She's dribbling into the corner, instead backs it out to Madison Goffman. Madison trying to drive. Something. Oh.
Are you kidding me?
No. She bumped into the defender behind her. You can't call that. No way. Oh, my goodness. I'm going to respectfully disagree and say that can't be a foul.
Yeah, that's a tough one right there. I mean, you kind of look a little bit at the moving screen, but she plowed right over Johnson trying to set that screen.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, it is going to be back to the Sauk Center Main Streeters on that foul on the Wolves. They'll now have 5 as a team. Suflo gets around Droogsma, picks it up, lob shot, no good. It's going to wind up in the hands of Madison Goffman. Goffman with the rebound. She'll give it up to Annabelle Goffman. She gets around 2 defenders, gives on the near side to Droogsma. Droogsma looking, trying to find a lane inside. Poke out by Jennison, but Droogsma gets it back. In the near side corner, Kylie Johnson for 3. It's good.
That's a big shot there by one of the bench players. You can get some points off the bench like that. That's absolutely huge. You talked a little bit earlier about it being a 10-point game. The biggest thing is to not panic. Stay within yourselves and don't just try to – you can't score 18 points in one possession.
And unfortunately, Hirikoff this time left alone on the drive to the basket. So it's 29. Thought it was 18. They're going to call that last shot a 2 there, Andy.
Yep, it was a 2.
So a 2 there from Kylie Johnson. Now we get a whistle and a foul on the Main Streeters. It'll be their team's 6th. This one's going to go against 25, Paige Detterman,
Yeah, Detterman, some good aggressive defense trying to get across the top of that screen, but also trying to reach out and snatch that ball out of the hands of Goffman, but just kind of gets caught reaching a little bit too much.
Salstrom will inbound to Johnson. Johnson gives right back to Salstrom. I like this battle between Salstrom and Suflo. That's going to be a fun one to watch throughout this game. Salstrom lost it. It winds up at the hands of Johnson on the far side. Salstrom gets it back, though. Now to Johnson again. Annabelle Goffman at the top of the key. Gets a screen. Nothing doing as she wanted to maybe kick inside to Johnson, but there's just nothing doing. 6-5, 4, and tie up again. Jump ball, possession arrow.
That was a tough spot. Goffman had to give it up there. She was getting close to the 5-second call. Tried to force it into Salstrom there, but that's a tough spot to be able to do that. You put it right into the hands of Suflo.
Yeah, and again, the Wolves are going to have to find a way to make sure that they're cutting down these turnovers as we finish off this first half, because the Streeters, unfortunately, are capitalizing on those turnovers, turning them into points. Inside is Jennison. That shot too strong. Rebounded here by Annabelle Goffman.
That's one of the first times you've seen that triple team collapse and really affect what those girls do on the inside.
Salstrom getting around a defender. Willow Hunt, again, they're leaving her alone, and once she starts to hit these, the Streeters are going to be in trouble, but for now, they're okay. Annabelle Goffman gives it back outside to Kylie Johnson. She's left alone. Take it! Shot is up. Just a little too much time to think there, and unfortunately, she knew she could have taken it, knew she should have, but just thought a little too much about it. So rebound was by Jennison, and we got a timeout called here by the Main Streeters, so while they take one, we'll take one as well. You're listening to Section Championship Basketball on KBEK.
The truth is, you don't have to be an athlete to need physical therapy. Car accidents, work accidents, and simply aging can take its toll on our bodies. Physical therapy consultants in North Branch, Isani, Andover, Ham Lake, St. Francis, and Zimmerman can help you heal. Services like massage therapy, orthopedic care, and more. Physical therapy consultants can help. Call Physical Therapy Consultants at 1-888-THERAPY. All insurance plans accepted, including workers' comp and auto.
Back here on Nice 95.5 FM, Game Day Gilman, joined by Andy Beckstrom here at Hollenbeck Hall on the campus of St. Cloud State for this Section 6AA championship game. The Wolves trail the Main Streeters of Sauk Center 29-17. But, Andy, this one feels a lot closer than the 12-point difference it is.
Absolutely. I think a little bit ago you had mentioned that it was a 10-point ball game. I had to do a double take looking up at the clock. Because this game is not played like that at all. Milaca, even though they are down 12, they have had their fair set of chances inside, or at least on the offensive side. Part of it is they've had a little bit of shooting woes. They've maybe rushed a couple of possessions, but they're getting to the basket. They're getting some good looks. It's just not falling right now. And that's something we talked about before. If they're able to get, especially like Willow Hunt, and I promise, I'm not ragging. I'm not being negative.
No.
She's one of their better players, and they need her to be able to come through with some of that. And I think that they could maybe be able to drive back into this game rapidly if they start getting some of those to go.
And good ball movement here by the Streeters. Herikoff winds up getting it inside, and she is good for two once again. 31-17, under a minute and a half to go. Annabelle Goffman up the court with it, looking for Madison, but nothing doing. She was guarded too well inside. Give now to Drugsma. She'll hand to Salstrom. Salstrom wanted that three, but there's Suflo right there to guard her, and that's a good call there. Salstrom gets into Corton, or rather Corton got into her, and she's fouled. That'll be Corton's second, team's seventh, and it'll be a 1-and-1 for Salstrom.
Team seventh there for the Wolves, or for the Main Streeters there, which the Wolves only have 5. The concern is that they have both Bella Salstrom and Annabelle Goffman with 2 fouls. Again, if you can get to the second half, if you can get a little ways into the second half, it's not really a concern, but you have to make sure to just be aware of it.
That is missed, and it should go out of bounds. It will be last touch by the Streeters, so it will stay with the Wolves.
And that's what I really like about Willow Hunt's game. I talked about, her on the offensive side, but she does so many of those little things right. Yeah. She's trying her best, and she is frustrating Herikoff, especially on that end of the court.
Inbound for Salstrom. She'll go to Willow Hunt. Top of the key.
Can
she get this one to fall off the backboard? No good. Jennison will get the rebound. She will hit it eventually. Absolutely. And this offense is going to get a fire going after she does. Salstrom trying to guard Suflo, now back outside here to Borgman. Borgman give to Herikoff. Herikoff trying to drive inside, spin move. Salstrom with the defense, and she forces her to miss. Annabelle Goffman with the rebound. Well, there it is. The shorter player on the taller player, and now Madison Goffman for 3, just off the mark. Good box out there by the Streeters, rebounded by Detterman, but it is going to be stolen away by Salstrom. Up and in for 2.
Sauk Center looking for a foul over on that far side. There's a little bit of contact with Goffman, but I like the no call. I like the ball just kind of going out there, and good hustle by Salstrom.
Oh, Detterman almost fouled, so Salstrom had to back off, which leads to her having a wide open lane to the basket for 2.
Wolves got to get points on this final possession.
Well, they need. Is it important for them to take that final shot?
Yes.
Okay. Final shot needed, and certainly they do have to get points, like you mentioned. 5-4. Madison Gothman will ring it around the rim for the final shot of the half. And how big is that going into half for the Wolves?
I think the only thing that could have been better right there is if they were able to get a foul on Harikoff inside. I don't know that it would have affected a whole lot because she's only got 1, but at the same time, you want to try to attack those girls as much as you can.
So it is halftime. The Wolves trail on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard, 33-21 to the Main Streeters of Sauk Center here in this Section 6 AA championship game. We're going to take a commercial break. We'll be back to recap that first half of action here on Nice 95.5 KBEK.
We're proud to support local athletes during the playoffs. Whether you're an athlete or a fan, Wellia Health is here to help keep you performing at your best. For all your sports medicine needs, visit us at Wellia Health online to learn more.
The mushroom melt is back at A&W. How does this sound? Sautéed seasoned mushrooms and onions with melted Swiss cheese on your choice of a juicy burger or grilled chicken. Then add golden French fries and a medium soft drink. It's the mushroom melt and fries combo at A&W. Now, top it off with a classic A&W root beer float featuring vanilla soft serve and made fresh root beer, all in a frosty mug. Or how about the A&W root beer freeze? Signature combos and delicious treats always at your local A&W restaurant in Pine City.
Embrace Orthodontics offers a unique specialized approach to orthodontic treatment with custom braces or Invisalign. The team at Embrace loves getting to know their patients personally and takes the time to make sure all your questions are answered. Their board-certified orthodontists use only the latest in modern technology to give you the best outcome possible. They work with your insurance company and offer flexible financing options to fit your budget. Call today to set up your free exam and see how Embrace Orthodontics can transform your smile. More online at embracemn.com. That's embracemn.com.
Need reliable energy? Burnett Dairy Cooperative has you covered with top quality propane services. Whether you're heating your home, running your business, or firing up the grill, our propane is safe, efficient, and always dependable. Choose Burnett Dairy Cooperative Propane, your trusted partner for all things energy. Stay warm, stay powered, stay local.
Free college is possible at Pine Technical and Community College. Students of all ages may be eligible for a tuition and fee-free pathway to education thanks to the new North Star Promise Scholarship. If you're a resident of Minnesota and have a family-adjusted gross income of $80,000 or less, apply online today for free and join us in high-demand programs such as nursing, gunsmithing, machining, automated systems, cybersecurity, early childhood education, liberal arts, and more. Whether you're starting out or starting over, learn more at pine.edu.
And here's the pitch.
Here's the pitch. The premier indoor batting cages in North Branch. Whether you're trying to make the team or take the team to the next level, Here's the Pitch has state-of-the-art pitching machines for both baseball and fast-pitch softball. $35 gets you cage time with your own pitcher. $40 gets you cage time using one of their top-tier pitching machines. Screens, plates, helmets, they've got the equipment, you provide the batter. Find Here's the Pitch on Facebook or visit here'sthepitchmn.com. here'sthepitchmn.com.
Physical therapy. It's one of those services you don't think about until you need it. Pain happens. Count on the team at Physical Therapy Consultants to help. Physical Therapy Consultants, with locations in North Branch, Isanti, Zimmerman, St. Francis, Andover, and Ham Lake, accept all insurance plans, workers' comp, and auto. Their expertise can help you and your body repair. Find out how Physical Therapy Consultants can help you heal. Call 1-888-THERAPY today. 1-888-THERAPY for Physical Therapy Consultants.
Aurelius Manufacturing has been providing innovative solutions to customers since 1926. Specializing in the production of custom welded hydraulic cylinders for over 40 years, our focus is on providing value to customers through innovative problem solving, quality workmanship, and customer service. Our team works with your team to develop designs that provide the most value for your application. We leverage technology and craftsmanship, turning designs into finished products quickly and accurately.
Arrowhead Transit, your community, your ride. Arrowhead Transit is proud to support this station and bring you reliable public transportation in your community. Whether you need to get to work, school, or the doctor's office, our friendly drivers and comfortable buses are here to serve you. We're committed to connecting communities and making transportation accessible for everyone. Arrowhead Transit is your community partner in getting around. Arrowhead Transit is a supporting sponsor of the station and is dedicated to supporting our local communities.
At Burnett Dairy Cooperative, we're more than just your local dairy. We're also a trusted propane provider, serving homes, farms, and businesses across northwestern Wisconsin and east central Minnesota. Whether you need a tank installed or reliable delivery, we're here for you 365 days a year with flexible options that fit your needs. As a farmer-owned cooperative, we're committed to supporting our community because your home and farm deserve the best. Call 715-689-1032 to learn more. Burnett Dairy Propane, serving you with pride every day of the year.
Well, before we get to our recap, we've got some our local athletes being honored as part of the all-section team here for 6AA, and those athletes are Mackenzie Holte from Mora, as well as Piper Metling from Pine City, Kylie Stortkamp and Katie Mazizek from Foley, and then both Madison and Annabelle Gothman here from Milaca. They are part of the all-section team here for 6AA. Cool to see them get honored here at the half. Getting into our recap of the first half, leading the way for the Sauk Center Main Streeters was, Victoria Jennison with 10, 8 for Elizabeth Harrikoff, then 6 for Kaylin Suflo, 5 for Paige Detterman, then 2 for both Jenna Riley and Sierra Corton. They were led in rebounds, you guessed it, by their two bigs, Harrikoff with 10, 8 for Jennison. They had 1 block from Harrikoff. They were 2 of 2 from the free throw line and had 7 team fouls. On the other side for your Milaca Wolves, leading the way was Madison Gothman with 7-4 for Willow Hunt, 3 for both Annabelle Gothman and Ashley Drugma, 2 for Kylie Johnson and Bella Solstrom. 5 rebounds for Annabelle Gothman to lead the way for the team, 7 steals, 3 of them coming from Bella Solstrom, 1 block from Annabelle Gothman. They were 3 of 4 from the free throw line with 5 team fouls. Andy, your biggest takeaway there from that first half of action?
I think that probably the biggest thing is just how well Sauk Center uses the Twin Towers, as we like to call them. Victoria Jennison at 6'4", and Elizabeth Harrikoff at 6'2". Harrikoff handles the ball so well and moves so well on the court that she's a matchup disaster to try to be able to do anything against her. Wolves have done pretty good against them, but they have 18 of the 33 points in the first half. And that's it's a very tough duo to be able to stop and be able to slow down. Wolves are trying to throw all sorts of different looks at them, but they've seen a lot of that where the ball goes inside, they're just kicking it back out for a 3. The ball goes inside and they're rolling to the basket and trying to work around the double team. And Coach Haas is going to have to try to find a solution for them on the other side in the second half. But as far as the other end of things for Milaca on offense, stay settled down. They got a little rattled for a little bit, kind of got out of their game, but as long as they keep playing their style of offense and what they've done all year long, they should be okay. Really, you look at the score being a 12-point ball game, 33-21. We talked a couple of different times about it's not a 12-point ball game. Scoreboard says that it is, but it doesn't feel like that. The Wolves have had more than their fair set of chances. I don't know what the turnover margin is right now, but it's got to be close. It's not a wide margin by one or the other. The rebounding edge probably goes a little bit over to the Sauk Center side of things, but we've seen numerous times where they come down with the rebound and then they create a turnover because of just a harassment of on-the-ball defense. So they're doing everything that they can, and they're playing a very good basketball game tonight. It's just they got to figure out a way to be able to limit and try to slow down both Harrikoff and Jennison.
Well, and I mean, you had mentioned it too, where they're frustrating their two bigs when they're trying to get second chance scoring opportunities with those rebounds on the offensive side of the ball. Sauk Center has how many times gotten a rebound with one of those on the defensive side? Then all of a sudden we see a steal by a Solstrom or a Gothman, and they're looking for a foul. There's just nothing to be had for Sauk Center. How much do we need to see, or do we need to see more of that here in the second half? And how careful do they have to be to make sure they're not getting the fouls that pile up possibly along with it?
Well, and that's the tough part. You know what I mean? That's when you get into like talking about a razor's edge type of line. With what you decide to do. at this point in time, 12-point ball game, you're down. You have to keep being aggressive. If you end up falling out of the game, then you end up falling out of the game. But you have to continue to be aggressive. If you start laying back and you start allowing, all right, well, I'm going to play kind of Ole defense because I'm going to be in foul trouble. If you have 4 fouls and stay in the ball game and you lose by 13, you lose the game. If you play aggressive defense and you foul out of the ball game and you end up losing, you end up losing. But if you stay aggressive and you create turnovers and get back in the game, that's obviously the ideal. But you have to start playing that aggressive style of defense that they have all season long. It's tough to do, and it's tough to mentally stay with that when you know you have some foul trouble. And again, they don't really have it just yet, but they have to make sure they stay aware of that fact. But they have to keep that defense up. They have to stay aggressive with that. That's the only way that they're going to be able to get back into this game, is that defensive calling card. And if it happens, it happens. I mean, you don't want to be foolish about it. That's, obviously, I'm not saying if you foul out, you foul out. Oh, well. Yeah. Because you still have to be smart about it, but you can't just lay back. Just be as aggressive as you have been. If they call a foul, they call a foul. You deal with that later.
Well, not too many fouls to worry about. 5 in the first half, but you mentioned 2 for both Sahlstrom and Annabelle Gothman. So, again, won't necessarily have to worry about it, but if they get the third, then we'll start looking a little bit more at it. The fourth, then that's when it'll become a problem. But we're going to have our second half of action coming your way when we return after a word from our fine sponsors, as you're listening to Section 6AA Championship Basketball here on Nice 95.5 KBEK.
A&W Restaurant Pine City is still making fresh root beer, that signature item since 1919. It's still made fresh and on-site with real cane sugar and a blend of secret ingredients. It doesn't get any better than this. Their world-renowned A&W root beer is a classic treat, and they can top it off with creamy vanilla soft serve to be known as the famous A&W root beer float. Now that's smooth, tasty, and refreshing. An American iconic A&W root beer float. It never tasted so good. A&W Restaurant, Pine City. Come grab your root beer float today.
And I keep telling the salespeople, please don't put food ads on the games that I'm doing because I get way too hungry.
Yeah, especially right when you're coming back from break, because then that's all you can think about.
Exactly. It's so distracting for the game. No, of course. We are getting set for the second half of action here in the 6AA Championship matchup between your Wolves of Milaca and the Main Streeters of Sauk Center. Game day, Gilman. Andy Beckstrom out at this one. Been a good first half here, Andy. I'm excited to see what this second half brings. Of course, we're hoping Milaca can come back from 12 down, turn this around, and wind up headed to the state tournament. Of course, we're hoping for 2 of those games kind of going that way here tonight. But Wolves will start with the ball. They'll go right to left on your radio dial. Sauk Center left to right, or they'll go south to the south, or north basket will the Wolves. Sauk Center will go to the south if you like that kind of direction. Madison Gothman going to start it off with a 3, almost there. Annabelle Gothman nearly got the rebound. I'm kind of surprised there was no foul call there on that one. That one was close, but Herikoff yet again another rebound as Sufla will get it inside now to Jennison. Jennison being bothered inside. She's going to lose it. There's that aggressive defense, Andy.
Yeah, they got to collapse. They got to create those turnovers, and I said before, fouls be darned.
Well, they gave it right back as, unfortunately, there it was Drugsma who let it slip through her hands. Herikoff got the steal right back. So that's really unfortunate there for the Wolves. Obviously not the end of the world, but that does kind of, it hurts a little bit.
Yeah, you got to take advantage when you get a turnover like that, especially when you're in a situation you are right now.
Jennison inside again, now back outside here to Schuster for 3. That's good.
And that's what the Streeters got to do to be able to win. Obviously we're here for Milaca, but, if you're Sauk Center, get the ball inside, find the open person, because Milaca's going to continue to collapse on that.
Annabelle Gothman give inside to Hunt. Nothing doing there. Drugsma 3, too strong. And it's rebounded by Willow Hunt. Could have been maybe a foul call, but I like the no call there. Letting him play a little bit more. Drugsma will take it to the basket instead. Hunt again, another rebound, up and in for 2. Did she get fouled again?
She did, and that is what we need to be able to see. That's the Willow Hunt that we have been able to see most of the year. The perimeter jump shooting, we're going to kind of take a lead. You got to take it when you get it, but that right there, the aggressive nature, the hard rebounding, and putting it back up through contact.
And she's still giving up some height to those defenders inside, but it's going to be a 3-point play for... Now she has 7 points on the evening as the Streeters bring it back up the other way. Herikoff with it, trying to drive inside. Oh, they're going to get a foul on Sahlstrom. And she kind of knew it there, but she's also kind of frustrated with oh, whoa. They're going to get that to Madison Gothman.
I'm not mad about that.
Yeah, I mean, she's got him to give, but it's just very interesting. I did not see. Yeah, okay. Well, either way, Sauk Center is going to have it back. Yeah, I didn't quite see where the foul on Madison Goffman was, but that is who the foul is on. And again, like you said, not mad at it because she's got him to give. As now with it, that's Corton with it. A jumper from two is good.
That's a really good looking shot to get to the baseline, kind of back off, create some space, and knock it down.
Drusma with it up the court for the Milaca Wolves. Top of the key now to Salstrom. Salstrom trying to drive inside on Suflo. Looks like she lost it, but then got it back. Willow Hunt.
Hit that.
Three is finally there for her.
And this offense is on the verge of an explosion. Yes, it's still an 11-point game, but that right there is a huge shot for Willow Hunt.
That is big, as now Suflo taking it up the other way. Madison Goffman guarding. Now give out to Herikoff, Herikoff trying to drive inside. Give now to Schuster. Schuster going to take it in herself on this far side. Suflo left alone. This time a miss. And rebounded by Annabelle Goffman. She just wanted it more. She's going to bring it forward. 2-on-2. Had a young teammate underneath, but can't get it to her. Instead, they'll give to Goffman. Oh, just off the mark. Annabelle Goffman couldn't quite get it. It's going to be Jennison with the rebound.
I'd like to see her take maybe another step up on that one, because she's shooting it where she thinks is maybe about 8 inches behind the three-point line, but that's the NCAA three-point line.
Yes. Suflo, another miss. And Suflo trying to go get her own rebound. It's knocked out of bounds by her. Willow Hunt. I'm going to.
Yep.
You can't ask for what's better. Yeah. Beautiful box out on Jennison. I mean, you can't ask for better box out. That's just incredible defense.
That's just great fundamental basketball. And she didn't leap to the basketball as it was coming down to allow Jennison to get there. She stayed back. If the ball's going to hit the ground, it can hit the ground.
Yeah.
I can get it from there.
Madison Goffman on the far side. She's trying to get around the defender, Schuster, driving baseline. Oh, that had slipped through her hands. Ooh, I like the no call there because Corton definitely slipped on her own. Now the give to Annabelle Goffman, that's off the mark, and this time it'll be rebounded by Jennison. So Corton wound up with the steal.
Salstrom almost took it away.
Yep. But the Wolves got it back, and this one up no good. It's going to wind up a far rebound for Jennison on that far side. Schuster now driving aggressively to the basket. That shot no good. I don't think the Wolves knew it was going to miss, and Willow Hunt winds up coming up with the rebound. Madison Goffman takes it forward.
Wolves got to slow it down just a little bit on this possession.
And I think that's what Goffman did right there as she kind of surveyed the defense. They're going to allow Hunt to do it again. Oh, just off the mark. Another one that, again, if she makes that.
Oh, that's a little bit too aggressive there by Willow. I think maybe frustrated with the shot, whatever it may have been. She kind of went a little aggressive trying to be able to get that double team in the corner. I like getting that double team and trying to force that turnover, which knocked that ball away, but just a little bit too aggressive and committed the foul.
Now, I know that they're trying to get this perimeter shooting going. But how important is it for them to continue to try and drive inside and also get those hard points as well? Because, again, Willow Hunt, it's not that she can hit it, it's just not her forte. She can certainly hit it, but how important is it for them to continue to try and get the points in the tough areas?
They still got to try to go to the basket.
As we see a good pass inside to Jennison. That's just a good pass there and good move by Jennison to get that ball away from the defender. She drops in for 2, 40-27.
Try to get a hand over the top to make the steal and just couldn't quite reach it.
Annabelle Goffman, what a stop there on a dime. She ultimately had it blocked by Jennison, but, I mean, what a stop on a dime there. Madison Goffman now has it. Going to try and drive inside from the free throw line. Ooh, I don't know if that was tipped or what, but that came out of her hand really, really funny.
Yeah, Wolves got to take advantage of a couple of these offensive possessions. They got that big three from Willow Hunt, but they've been a little bit ragged on offense the last couple of possessions and haven't been able to chew into this lead, even though they've created some turnovers and forced some bad shots by Sauk Center.
We're going to get a timeout called here by the Wolves. They'll be left with 2 as that is their third. It is only going to be a 30-second timeout. And I think this is a good timeout because, one, Sauk Center didn't score off of that. Your defense is still playing pretty well. But Annie here, again, you mentioned it, they're just rushing things ever so slightly here in this one offensively. Defensively, I mean, I don't think you can ask for much more, but offensively, just going a little bit too quickly.
Yeah, and that's what I say. Well, you got to stay within yourselves a little bit. You start rushing, you start trying to all right, well, we have to score fast. There's still 13 minutes left to go in this ball game. If you break that down, 13-point ball game, you only have to make up 1 point per minute. it's not the end of the world. You don't have to get a perimeter jump shot. You don't have to try to do one thing or the other. Just play with what you have and take what the defense gives you.
1 point per minute would not be out of the question if we went back 2 years and didn't have the shot clock.
Exactly.
Suflo with some nasty footwork inside. It is going to be no good, though. All mute as Hunt will get the rebound.
He's seen Salstrom kind of put her hands up like, where did she go?
I like that move by Madison Goffman. Instead of that three there, one more move, drove inside, got a long two.
Wolves trying to get a little bit of full court pressure here and picking up into three-quarter court. They got it. Yeah. You can't let them get over the top like that.
Yeah, unfortunately, missed assignment there underneath. Jennison wide open, easy two.
Because that's what you're looking for. You're looking for those long, deep passes, but you got to be able to get there. And if you let it get too far over the top, then it's just going to be an easy lay-in.
Willow Hunt, she wanted that three, but it says she's going to give one more pass now to Annabelle Goffman. She's going to take a three just off the mark, and that rim pretty stiff here tonight on this north end. Harikoff with the rebound for Sauk Center at Suflo again. Again, she's got some good footwork, but her and Salstrom, that's been a good battle, Andy.
Absolutely. They both got great handles. They both can move. They both can play really good pressure defense.
Inside, Jennison, no good. Rebound knocked out of her hands by Salstrom. Oh, are they going to get a foul?
They're going to get her a foul.
Ooh. You know, maybe the right call, but that one's so close, Andy.
I like the aggressive nature, though, of Salstrom, though, trying to be able to knock that ball away. Willow Hunt battling down low, physical nature, trying to be able to get that post play, kind of get an awkward shot that she did, but just trying to get that rebound on the backside after
Nothing
that.
doing on the inbound. Suflo will wind up getting it. They had to go a long ways for that one. Now inside to Harikoff. Harikoff back outside Suflo. No good. And that, the shot yell by Madison Goffman seemed to maybe affect her a tad. Hey,
and that's a good defensive possession there for the Wolves. You kind of force a perimeter jump shot. And I said it before, when Sauk Center hits that, they're a very hard team to beat because that's kind of what they're built on. Let the bigs try to work, but if the double team comes, hit perimeter jump shots. But the Wolves have been able to kind of control some of that a little bit, and they got that long shot that ended up being off the mark.
Annabelle Goffman will bring it forward. Annabelle Goffman, only 3 points in that first half. We know between the Goffmans, it's either one of them. They kind of share the spotlight every single night, whether it's one leading the team or the other. But, oh no, Droogsma was underneath the basket, tried to pass it back outside to Madison, and just too long. And we talked about at the end of the first half, turnovers began to be a problem. And early on in this second half, it's not so much turnovers, just kind of rushing things there. And I don't know if she rushed it so much as that was just a pass that got away from her.
Yeah, I think she kind of maybe got herself a little bit too far underneath and just kind of threw it away.
Harikoff this time is going to get that shot off over Willow Hunt, so it's going to be 44-29 now. Annabelle Goffman will take it just by her sister. Look for a screen. They're going to talk a little bit, trying to figure out what to do. The fake give to Madison. Then oh no.
You almost need a timeout right here. Yeah, here we go.
And I'm guessing this will be a full. Yep. Well, that's unfortunate, but we'll take one as well. It'll be a quick 30-second break. We'll come back, talk about what they need to do to get back into this one.
Coming to the Target Center March 22nd, Kid Rock. And you're going to the show, Kid Rock. Listen to Rockin' Robin in the morning, KBEK, for your tickets. Kid Rock. Radio edit. Free concert tickets for listening. Kid Rock at the Target Center, March 22nd. You're going to the show. Brought to you by Marge's Pub and Grub in Brook Park, ABC Lumber and Siren, and Nice 95.5.
Back here on KBK, Andy, what's got to change for the Wolves, and what do they got to just simply do better?
Well, they got to be sharp on offense. They're not an offensive team per se, more kind of hang their hat on defense, but they're going to have to be sharp on offense. They got to be very crisp coming down the stretch. Right now, they got a little more than 11 minutes remaining in the ball game, and down 15. Again, they've had their opportunities. They just haven't taken advantage of those opportunities. I don't feel like the Main Streeters, they're a little bit better right now, but I don't feel like this is a 15-point ball game. We've talked about that numerous times. Milaca's right there. They force turnovers. They're not giving up easy shots. They're trying to control what they can on the other side. It just hasn't quite worked out for themselves on the offensive side. But the biggest thing, again, they can't start rushing things. They can't start pressing. They still have 11 minutes left to go. They still have time, but they got to be crisp.
As the Streeters have it back offensively, it's Schuster with it. What a nice pass, Corton. Wow. Give credit to Corton on that one.
There's a little bit of contact on that one. She fought through that, and I don't know if she was able to get that ball that high up onto the backboard, but
I think Annabelle Goffman also had a hand on it as it went through, too, so just an incredible shot for 2, and now Hunt will take that 3.
May as well.
Man. It's been right there all night, and Hunt nearly got the steal back, but Schuster's going to get the rebound. Here comes Corton up the court, nearly stolen away by Annabelle Goffman. Schuster back with it. She gets an edge on the defender. Now give here to Detterman. Detterman, one more step. That would have been a travel, but she did a good job to hold on to that one. Madison Goffman got a hand on it, but it's Schuster who had to go through her hands out of bounds, and the Wolves catch a break here. They'll get it back offensively.
Just enough of a deflection there that it ends up going off the hands of Sauk Center. But again, a turnover, they have to take advantage.
As we will see them inbound, it's going to be Salstrom who will bring it up for the Wolves. They had Annabelle bring it up. They'll now have Salstrom begin the play. Trying to get around Suflo, and they like that matchup, though. I think that's why they went with the change there. Salstrom gets a screen. Give it here to Annabelle Goffman. Goffman going to drive inside, spin move. Shot is up, definitely a foul there, and she's going to go to the line and shoot 2. Great job by Annabelle Goffman.
Good spin move there on Riley, trying to be able to get to the rack. And this is something, again, they need to continue to attack inside. And I like that move right there. You get that foul, and now you get a chance to be able to get some points with the clock stopped as well. And granted, we still have 9:54, but any seconds you can save are key seconds right now.
First one gets off the front of the rim, but rolls through. And hey, any way you can get it. We talked in the first half how free throws might become a factor. I'd say right now they probably are right now. These are 2 big free throws. So we had to hold our breath. That one spun around the rim for a couple seconds, but it winds up falling through. So they get the 2 that they needed. How big is that just for them offensively to realize, hey, we can still score and we can still, manage to get back into this game?
I feel like it kind of settles them down a little bit. Yeah. And again, just so tough inside Jennison rather. That lob pass inside, she's already doing a drop step as soon as she gets the ball. Milaca can't collapse quick enough.
Well, they have figured that out a little bit, but if the Wolves can get back defensively and figure out a little bit of something themselves, this will wind up being a good game once again. Again, just offensively, the Wolves need to get things going. This ball nearly up for grabs. Hunt was able to grab it back. Now Annabelle Goffman going to try and drive hard to the basket. Gives out Droogsma for 3. Too much of a line drive on that one. Rebounded by Corton. It just seems like right now, Andy, the Wolves shooting just not overly confident.
Yeah, they're not hitting the shots that they're taking. They're taking good shots. If they're not committing a turnover, they are getting really good possessions. They're just not hitting them right now.
Nice move by Annabelle Goffman on that one, on that defensive play, which forces the pass to go elsewhere, and it's no good. Rebounded by the Wolves. They'll bring it forward. Madison Goffman going to hand off to Droogsma. Droogsma trying to weave her way through traffic. Give to Willow Hunt a long 2. That's too long. And rebounded there by Schuster for Sauk Center.
Milaca just doesn't have the life right now. It feels like the juice is gone. I don't know where they got to find it. I don't know who's going to have to do it, but somebody's going to have to find a way to inject something for this Wolves squad.
Well, that's a good play there by Salstrom. Missed shot by Suflo. Rebound by Goffman. And another great box out by Hunt. Madison Goffman's trying to spark that life right back, but I don't know. I don't know about that shot there, Andy.
Yeah, it's rushing that one a little bit, trying to be able to maybe try to spark that life, but that's a little bit of a deep 3 again. I'd like to see her take maybe a step up on that.
Well, and again, they've got that light blending in line for the 3 underneath the black line there on the court, so it's a little bit hard to see. Madison Goffman gets the rebound on that missed shot. Droogsma tries to drive to the backset, guarded well by Riley. Now Madison Goffman will drop it in for 2. Great pass by Droogsma. 48-33. Suflo usually taking it up the court. We're dipping at 7:35 and under now. Oh, shoot. Yeah, that's a good call. Great awareness there by the referee. Schuster, as she went to stop to pass, that back foot just kind of skipped on her a little bit.
We're kind of getting to a certain point of the game now where Coach Haas may have to start tactically using timeouts as a little bit of a rest break. If he's going to only go about 6 deep, and I don't think he's brought anybody in here in the second half, and we're already 11 minutes in, or 10 and a half minutes in, he might have to start using him as a little bit of a break because some of the girls look a little gassed out there.
Well, Andy, the problem? He's only got 1 left. So it's going to be a tough thing. Drugsma with the missed shot there. It's going to be Harikoff with the rebound. So only one timeout left. So it'll be very important to see where he uses it. Willow Hunt. Ooh, who's that off of? I think that's going to be Sauk Center. I think it should be Milaca ball. Oh. Nope, they're going to say it was
another
only
one of those partial deflections off of somebody else. But
yeah, Hunt got a hand in it. But still great defense by Hunt again, even
100%.
if she didn't get the ball back. Oh, my goodness, another good defensive play by Hunt. Just a better play by Jennison offensively. 50-33. Wolves, I mean, this is still within their reach. There's still plenty of time. They just need to get that spark offensively we've been talking about. Sahlstrom a long three, going to come up short, but Annabelle Gothman there for the rebound. She's trying to give it outside. Drugsma along two is good. 50-35. Taking it the other way is Detterman. Detterman gets by the defender, tries to give there to Jennison. Sahlstrom tie up, and this will go back to Sauk Center.
I think Sahlstrom, like the old fumble Ruski, leaped over the top of Jennison there to be able to get a hand on that basketball to get the jump ball.
Well, we talk about the juice is a little bit gone, but I mean, they're still giving it everything they have right now. It's really great to see, even though you're down by 15 with 6.5 to go. Trying to get it inside court and gives to Suflo. Suflo gives outside now to Schuster on the far side. Harikoff trying to drive baseline. I don't know about that one. I think you got to call it, but I don't know if that's a true foul.
I guess I'm on too far on the wrong side of that to be able to see what they seen on the other side there. But a little bit of contact and see him try to play through it.
But you know, I've really been impressed with the refs' consistency here tonight. They've been doing a great job of being consistent with their calls. It has been one way or the other. It's been really consistent all night long.
I would agree. They have been really good tonight.
Pass inside Jennison, trying to get over Hunt and Drugsma. Nothing doing. And it'll be Sahlstrom with the rebound. Now give to Annabelle Gothman. Under 6 to go. Give to Drugsma. Andy, that's one of those where they could have had maybe a step more, but Sahlstrom with the rebound. Throw at the basket. Shot no good. So it'll be another tie-up, and it will be back to Milaca. But another one there for Drugsma where I thought she may have had one more step to take that three.
Yeah, and I think that this is where that's the shots are where you're seeing some of the tired legs a little bit. The defensive effort tonight is just outstanding and phenomenal. You can't say enough about the heart that they're showing out there. And they're still hustling on offense. Just some of the shots are coming up a little short because I don't think they quite have the legs under them here in the second half.
They're going to get a travel call here on the Wolves. Man, it wouldn't have mattered too much because it would have been a block out of bounds anyways, but they still would have got the ball back. This one, come on, nobody's going to get there for oh, no. Oh, well, Andy, if there was ever a show of tiredness and legs, it was right there.
And I think that was a matter of maybe letting the ball go out of bounds, but I think Willow Hunt was about the only one that might have been able to get there, but she is so locked on to Jennison that she has to stay there.
Yeah, now we're going to get Sahlstrom with her fourth foul. I think if you're Coach Haas, you look at that and say, we got to at least get someone there because Schuster came from all the way in the backcourt. Milaca had two ladies who could have got to it, and unfortunately winds up being a foul, and Jennison's going to get a three-point play here. 53-35. Still not over, Andy, but 5.5 to go. Wolves got to get something going now.
Yeah, they're going to need some life on offense.
They're moving the ball around pretty well. Annabelle Gothman, nice hesitation move, and unfortunately she's going to go for the rebound, knock it out, and it will go back to Sauk Center. Like the move there, just unfortunately couldn't grab the rebound cleanly. It will go back to the Streeters. Oh, excuse me, they're going to change it. Ooh.
The officials got together and they discussed it. That was those are always the toughest calls to make when you get a ball that's kind of poked out.
Yeah.
Like, who really touched it last?
Right.
The poker or the ball sliding off of their fingers?
Well, they say it is Milaca ball, so they catch a break here, and they need to score now. As Annabelle Gothman with it. Oh, she mishandled the ball. Otherwise, she would have taken that three there, Andy. She'll give it to Drugsma instead. Now to Sahlstrom. Sahlstrom on the far side with 4 to shoot, 3 now to shoot, 2 to shoot, 1. Annabelle Gothman,
That was another one where she kind of mishandled it. Right, she was stepping into the shot and just could not get a shot away. And there's been too many possessions like that where it's just hasn't quite come together on offense for them.
And I got to imagine it's not just tired legs for Milaca. It's the frustration piece of it. They seem to be, their offense hasn't been moving terribly. They just haven't been able to hit the shots. As we'll see a miss 2 there. Oh, no, that's going to be Sauk center ball. Another, you can't say enough about the job Willow Hunt has done underneath the basket, guarding both Jennison and Harikoff. I don't know if there's been anyone who's guarded them better here in the section tournament.
I would agree. She's done just a tremendous job at being physical inside. You know, she's got 21 points, but she could have 35 easily.
And a 3 there from Suflo. She was just unfortunately left alone. And man, Milaca, you can see just the tiredness, the frustration. It's all kind of compiling itself, and this is going to be blocked by Harikoff. Another block for her. A 3 from Droogs, but definitely a foul. She'll go to the line and shoot 3. Sauk Center fans don't like it. That's a pretty clear foul, though, correct?
Yeah, it got a little bit of the arm. She got the ball, but she did get some of the arm as well. I got to say, just kind of, we talk about, that Milaca's got to have this. I got to give a ton of credit to the Main Streeters. The way Sauk Center is playing, they're forcing a lot of what's happening.
Yeah.
This is, it's not a matter of Milaca not doing well at offense.
No.
Their defense has really been good. They've forced Milaca to be just a little bit off balance most of the night, and then they've been able to overcome what Milaca's doing on defense at the other side. They've been very calm and relaxed the entire time.
And to kind of echo that, the Wolves have also been pretty calm despite this deficit here. They're still in it, but the Main Streeters, again, just done a little bit extra to make sure the Wolves are that much off their game. Suflo with a nice move inside. Shot is up, no good. Battle inside. Willow Hunt can wind up with it. She had to go to the floor to grab that one, but hey, any effort you're going to appreciate.
Yeah, any shrugged shoulders or drooping that you're seeing from the Wolves is just more a matter of, we played great defense and they made a shot that was better. It's just like, oh, what do we got to do?
Yeah.
But then they quickly turn it right back to offense and get it done.
Come on. Ooh. I couldn't tell there. There you got the better angle, but it is going to be out of bounds. I thought Annabelle Gothman had a chance to kind of swat it back in. I think they're going to say no, but it'll be Suflo to bring it forward. 3:45 to go. And looks like Sauk Center going to play a little bit of keep away here.
And it's smart by Sauk Center. Use the entire shot clock. You waste as much of that time as possible. I think you're starting to get to that point where seconds matter, even if you don't get points at this point.
Suflo fakes the 3, give to Schuster on the near side, trying to go underneath. Oh, right to Hunt. Willow Hunt. If there's a player of the game, Andy, for Milaca, game not over, but I think it's definitely Willow Hunt.
She didn't get a section nod with the at halftime, but the way she's playing tonight, just absolutely tremendous.
Nice screen from Willow Hunt for Sahlstrom, but just off the mark on the shot. Jennison will get the rebound. And again, that's kind of been the way this second half has gone for Milaca, unfortunately.
Good opportunity, just can't quite get the shot to fall.
Suflo bring it up. Annabelle Gothman going to guard her. I would have liked to seen that a little bit more tonight. Annabelle Gothman on Suflo. That would have been a great battle to see, but a good battle between Sahlstrom and Suflo as well. As now Corton has it. She's going to get the edge on Sahlstrom and drop that one in for 2. Just that extra burst there from Corton to get by the defender.
And Sauk Center all night long has just had too many options to be able to go to. They're not a 1 or 2 type of player team. They have anybody that can get to the rim and score.
Madison Gothman tried to get a screen. Unfortunately, it just wasn't clean enough, but Madison Gothman gets around the defender. Shot no good, and Jennison will get the rebound, and under 2.5 to go, and we're just kind of seeing the life continue to drain from the Wolves, not because of really anything else. I think it's just, again, the frustration. Just that basket just is not falling for them.
This is one of those games that you do absolutely everything right.
Yeah.
I don't think that there's been a lot that Milaca's done wrong. Sauk Center's just been that good tonight.
And Schuster will get the edge around Sahlstrom, and that's going to be a timeout here for Sauk Center. And wow, that 30-second timeout, but we're closing in at the end of this one. It's going to be the end of the road for Milaca. But as we're going to see some backups come into the game for both sides, no doubt. You mentioned it. Now, again, we see this during the regular season. Sometimes you just got to play through games like that. Sometimes you have it, you got to play through. unfortunately for Milaca, theirs came in the championship game.
Yeah, I mean, there's a ton of teams that didn't make it to this point. So, yes, this is not the way you want to end your season. But ultimately, only one team really tastes that sweet victory at the end. And to get to this point, that's a huge credit to what the Milaca Wolves have built as a program. Of course, with what Coach Haas is doing and what they've had in the past has been Coach Dalby being there for, a few years.
Of athletic supplies for any sport. We have professional staff here at Lee's Pro Shop to customize your orders. We are the pros who specialize in athletic apparel and equipment. We even do trophies and awards as well as computerized engraving in the store. Let Lee's Pro Shop help you with any athletic apparel. Lee's Pro Shop, servicing our communities since 1973, where the passion for sports begins.
We're going to get the medal ceremony here, but we're going to recap this one because we've got the Brand Bombers game coming up next right after this, so we got to switch over. But leading the way for the Wolves here in this game was Madison Gothman with 11-10 for Willow Hunt, 7 for Ashley Drugsma, 5 for Annabelle Gothman, then 2 for both Bella Salstrom and Kylie Johnson. 7 rebounds for Annabelle Gothman to lead the team, 6 for both Madison and Willow Hunt. Then he had 10 steals, 1 block. They were 8 of 10 from the free throw line and 10 total team fouls. Again, Andy, not the way they wanted it to end by any stretch of the imagination. It's been a great season, second in the section, and when they look back on this year, it's going to sting looking back at this game, but when they look back at the season they had, they're going to realize how special this was.
And right now, it's too close. It's raw. It's immediate. It's abrupt. However, use all of the buzzwords you want. For this situation, you see the emotions out there, but you get a month or two down the road, you can stop and you can look back at it and be like, you know what, we had a tremendous season. It's one of the best seasons in Milaca girls basketball history. We had a great run. We got to the section final. We went up against one of the best teams in state, gave them a solid punch. They just Sauk Center's just such a good ball club, and you got to be proud of what you did through this season. As you mentioned, it's too soon. It's too immediate. I don't blame any of them for any of the emotions that are happening, but I'm sure that that's something that Coach Haas or Coach Dillon or Taylor, any of the staff would say that just proud of the girls, the way they played, proud of the fight that they had, proud of the battle. They battled right to the end. Didn't matter that it was a 13-point game, 17-point game. It didn't matter what the score was. They were still playing aggressive defense. They were still playing passionate basketball. They were doing everything that they could, and that's almost got to be what you hang your hat on. Did you lose the game, or did you get beat? And if you just get beat, you're upset about it because you don't want to lose, but you did everything that you could within your power. And that's just sometimes the way that the games go. That's how sports are. And I think that Milaca did absolutely everything that they could tonight. They didn't quite have their shot on offense as much as we probably would have hoped, as they only had 37 points in the ball game. Give a lot of credit to Sauk Center for limiting second chance points and extra opportunities that the Wolves had. But at the same time, you got to tip your hat to the year that the Wolves had and the way that they played this year. Just absolutely tremendous and just passionate and great fight, great heart. You use that word heart as kind of a buzzword too, but that's absolutely what they've done this year. It's been incredible to watch, what they've been able to do and how they've been able to play, and just what they're able to accomplish out on the basketball court. And you got to have some pride in what you do. Again, the losing stings, but you got to make sure that pride is right there with the effort that they put in and the way that they were able to play.
It was a great season for the Wolves. Sad to see it end here in the section championship, but again, you mentioned what a great year it was for them. I just want to take a moment to honor the seniors by mentioning them each by name. Bella Salstrom, then you've got Ashley Drugsma, Grace Haas, and Willow Hunt. These 4 seniors have been so key for this Wolves team for not just this year, but the years past as well. And it has all culminated to this season. And not only did they get to the section final, but they're setting now this team up for the future, telling them, hey, look at what we did this year, and that's what you have to do going forward to get back to this game. And now you know what to do to beat if you run into a better team in the final.
And that's what you got to be able to do to be able to keep a program moving forward. And I'm sure that that's what some of those seniors are going to maybe say, like, hey, we got it this far. You guys punch it through next year. Try to keep this thing going. Keep battling. Keep doing what you can, because the games don't end. Yes, some careers come to an end. Some it may never play organized basketball again, and that's a very tough thing to be able to swallow. I remember when I graduated and went through some of those things for the last time as well. You never really think about it until you get to that very end, and then it's very tough to swallow. But you know what? The next year, there's another group that's going to be coming in, and I think that Milaca has a bright future. And I'm guessing that the senior leadership, the way that they are able to play this year, and the fight that they are able to have, I got to believe that senior leadership is going to still have that conversation with the underclassmen that, hey, this sucks, but you know what? It's up to you guys to not feel that pain next year.
Absolutely, but again, just want to continue to congratulate this Wolves team on the season that they had. It was fun to be able to cover them. It was fun to see and watch them play the way they did. They beat the number 2 team in the section. Fall short here against the number 1 team, but what a season it was. And you can see the Wolves watching Sauk Center enjoy it. It's one of those things that you see that they're taking this in. They're taking this to next year and saying, we're not going to feel this way again next year.
And that's a pride thing, is now they're getting the 6AA medals or awards being given to Annabelle and Madison Goffman, and giving them the credit where credit's due. And you look at a player like Willow Hunt. She's all the emotions flowing right now. All the seniors are having those emotions, but again, just tremendous job by them out here tonight, and really all season long. And got to give them a ton of credit for what they've been able to do for this program, and be able to get them in this situation. Like I said, not every team, very much so, a lot of teams don't ever get to a section championship. They don't ever get to like a subsection championship, depending on the section, I guess, whether they have the subsection. But so many teams, so many players never get to experience even this much. The reason that it's so painful and so hard is because you care so much, and you battled so hard, and you got so deep, and you had so much success. So it's good to see that passion and that heart and that fight. And again, just super proud of the girls and the efforts that they put in, and the way that they're handling this, and kind of watching what the Main Streeters are doing, and giving them the credit where credit is due. It's congratulations to them. They played a great game. They got themselves in that position. They went out and they got the victory. Congratulations, and hats off to Sauk Center.
Well, we're going to wait just a few extra minutes.
I think Brian is trying to hook it up there.
We're going to try and get an interview with the Milaca head coach, Todd Haas, and hear his thoughts on this one. We'll try to get some good info, but we got to make it quick, unfortunately, because we've got the Bombers coming up next. We got to get switched over to that game. Looks like he'll be headed up here. And, Andy, since you're the Milaca alum, you're the Milaca expert, I'm going to let you take over for this interview once we get him over here. So I'm going to hand my headset on over to Todd Haas, the Milaca head coach, as we'll get him on here tonight's 95.5.
Coach Haas joining us here on the postgame. Coach, thanks very much for joining us. I know it's tough, in this type of situation to take a moment, but we really appreciate you joining us. I'll give you just a few minutes if you want to just talk about the way the season has been, and kind of your feelings and emotions right now.
I couldn't be more proud of these girls. The way they played this whole season, they've come into situations where they just keep fighting and never give up. And I love that about this team, is the way they just don't ever give up. And they play as a team, and it's just so much fun to coach these girls, because they just play together, and I love them.
And we talked a lot during the course of the ball game that it's very clear, in the games that we've seen throughout the year, the Royalton game the other night, the game tonight, the amount of heart that they show and the amount of hustle. There's no quit at all. Even at the end of the ball game, down by however many points, they're still on the ball, still trying to get the ball, still trying to work things on offense. It's a very special group. Is that something that you guys talk about, coaches, or do they just kind of naturally have that extra level of heart out there?
I think that it's more, I believe it's them. It's more them than it is us coaches, because they just, when they want something, they team together and they talk about it themselves, and they come to me and say, hey, we would like to try this, or we'd like to do that. And I love that about them, because once I say, yeah, I'm with you, let's try it, and they love that, and then they just get bigger hearts and just try harder for everything they do.
It definitely seems like it flows through the entire squad all the way up and down. I'll give you a chance to I'm going to go through a couple questions. I'm going to highlight mostly the seniors here, just because a lot stings like this, obviously, for everybody, but a little bit more for the seniors, since this is kind of the end of an era in a sense. But talk about the job that Bella Sahlstrom has done. It seems like, especially against Royalton, we're going to go ahead and rotate her off to the biggest player on the court. You're going to play defense there. And she seemed like, all right, let's go do it.
Yeah, she's a great defender. She's a great offensive player. I mean, she's like, when things get a little low on our side, she's like, I'm going to be the spark plug. I'm going to take care of things for a little while and fire everybody up. And she does that, and it's just great to have a girl like that on the team.
Senior leadership tends to come with kind of a experience level, and you've done that. But Ashley Drugsma seems like she kind of played a little bit of a role of the balancer, just kind of like, all right, we're going to smooth things out if things get rattled, like try to help calm things down a little bit for everybody.
Yeah, she does that in practice too. And whenever we start running a new play or whatever, and the girls might get a little down, she's like, come on, guys, let's get it together. Let's work on this. And she keeps everybody in touch and keeps everybody motivated and on task.
Grace Haas, one of the seniors, coming off the bench and playing kind of a critical role for you guys throughout the course of the season, playing tonight, whether it be a foul trouble, anybody in the starters, but just coming in, giving that little bit of a spark. She seems like kind of that cerebral player that, like, okay, almost like another coach on the bench there with you.
Yeah, her being my daughter and stuff.
That kind of helps a little too.
She tells me, like the insider for what the girls are feeling, maybe brings it home a little bit and says, hey, you should look at this, or you should treat the girls a little bit lighter or whatever. But I mean, it's been great having her on the team, because she's honest with me and lets me know if I might not be doing the best job or whatever, but she lets me have it.
The last senior, Willow Hunt, we kind of raved about her throughout the course of the broadcast, the way that she did against both Jennison and Herkoff in the middle. She seems like kind of the Swiss Army knife type of player. She's going to pick whoever up defensively. She's going to do all of the little things she's the boxing out that she did in the course of the game tonight. Even if she didn't get the rebound, the other girl wasn't going to get the rebound. She's like the take a charge, do the little things type of player that was just tremendous and huge to your success this year.
Yeah, she had a tall task in front of her today. I mean, but how she performed, I mean, I couldn't ask any more of her the way she played. It was just outstanding. I mean, it might not look like it on the scoreboard, but I mean, when you watch the game, you can tell that she was a little outmatched, and she tried as hard as she could, and I can't be more proud of her.
It definitely seemed like you guys played very well. Just a ton of heart all the way up and down. Do you have anything else you'd like to kind of give you kind of the open floor, I guess, to a certain extent?
Well, Madison Gothman, she's one of the best players on her team, and she had a hell of a season this year, and she was just a little off this game, but she never quit. She never looked back. She just kept trying and trying and trying. And Annabelle Goffman, who has been our defensive threat all year long, has been being only a freshman, she's played super well during the tournament. So I couldn't be more proud of all those girls.
Well, Coach, we appreciate you joining us here. Congratulations on a tremendously successful season. Today is going to definitely hurt a little bit, but we're awfully proud of everything you guys be able to accomplish this year.
All right, well, thank you very much.
Coach Haas joining us here during the post game. We'll come back and wrap things up here on the post game. Bring Ethan Game Day Gilman back into the fold and kind of get set for the next matchup. As I mentioned before, that one game comes to an end, and some careers kind of come to an end, some seasons come to an end, but the games keep coming, and the next one's going to come here in 18 minutes.
Yeah, it's coming up quick, but I just wanted to say, thanks again to Coach Haas for joining us in the post game. You can tell how special this season was. You could see the emotion on his face. You could hear it in his voice, and just how special this team was for him and the team. It's unfortunate that the season ends now, but Again, what a great season. They'll look back and remember this one for a long time, but again, unfortunately, it does come to a close. Well, that is going to do it for that game. We are going to move over and start to get ready for the Bram Bombers playing the Hackensack Akeley Wolves here in this one. So that's going to do it, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks so much for tuning in. Tune back in here in just about 2 minutes because we're going to get the Wolves and Bombers here on our next one, both KBEK and 106.5 or 100.9 FM WCMP. For Andy Beckstrom, I'm Ethan Game Day Gilman. Thanks so much for tuning in. Tune back in about 2 minutes.